It is the final football Saturday in Arkansas. It's the Centennial Bank 3A Football State Championship, the Mansfield Tigers and the Redbugs of Fordyce. And with that, we say hello. JB Brazil alongside Bobby Swafford. Bobby, you got two teams that run very similar offenses. One team's been here a lot, and for Mansfield, it's their first ever trip to the big dance.
The Tiger fan base has seen a lot of success on the female side of things. Volleyball, basketball, softball have all played for championships recently, but on the boys' side, the football Tigers looking for their first ever crown.
Yeah, we've had a lot of really good football this week. It's hard to believe this is the final day of football at high school level in the state. Last weekend, we had a lot of really, really good matchups, starting with the 8-man championship, and then it kept rolling on. You saw that the win for Cedar Ridge, their first ever in school history, and then Cross County in the 2A championship against EPC. Coach Van Pascal raising the trophy, getting the Gatorade bath as well. And then the heavyweights, the 7A title, Bryant really dominant over Bentonville, 27-7. 7 state championships in the last 8 trips. I mean, that's so impressive. And then Robinson takes home the hardware at the 5A classification. They knocked off Lakeside for the second time this year. And then what was probably one of the bigger shockers, it was a good matchup, but Shiloh maybe upsetting Greenwood a little bit in a shootout.
And the most combined points scored in an Arkansas high school football championship game in history, 120 points in that one. Don't know if we're going to get to quite that many today. Two teams that have relied on the big play, though. Scoreboard operator better be on standby.
That's right. Clock ticking down, getting closer to kickoff between Mansfield and Fordyce coming up.
This broadcast is underwritten, in part by...
Since 1937, the electric cooperatives of Arkansas have been providing power to homes, farms, and businesses across our state. The cooperatives are member-owned and work together to serve Arkansans. The electric cooperatives of Arkansas proudly support high school students and athletics in Arkansas and hope you enjoy watching the state championship games on Arkansas PBS Sports. Better connected together. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas.
UAMS is a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports. UAMS Health provides orthopedic and sports medicine care across Arkansas, supporting athletes and teams throughout the state. Find out more at UAMShealth.com. Winrock Automotive supports Arkansas athletes as a sponsor of the Arkansas PBS Sports broadcast of the high school state championship games. With 7 dealerships across the state serving Little Rock, Conway, and Jonesboro, Winrock Automotive is community-focused and provides vehicle sales and service across Arkansas. We're honored to be a part of these unforgettable moments celebrating Arkansas student athletes. Winrock Automotive, connecting communities through service and support.
Centennial Bank supports communities across Arkansas and is a proud supporter of the Arkansas Activities Association and Arkansas PBS Sports, providing financial services since 1999. Member FDIC, more at my100bank.com.
Everett Buick GMC provides vehicles to Arkansas families and supports local organizations. Community involvement has been part of our story for generations. Proud to support the Arkansas Activities Association and Arkansas PBS Sports. More at everettbgmc.com.
For over 70 years, Farm Bureau Insurance has offered coverage for automobiles, homes, farms, and lives across Arkansas. Proud to support the Arkansas Activities Association. More at afbic.com.
I think it's important for Arkansas PBS to have sports because it provides sports on a greater platform to the entire community. And it also gives people in various other communities an opportunity to see other schools and other athletes and to have a greater appreciation for not just their own community, but the sports that are available across the state of Arkansas. There are so many lessons that sports provides, and it's one of the reasons why it's so important to the next generation of athletes coming up.
This month in Passport on the PBS app.
A race.
The loss is catastrophic for us.
To restore a medieval masterpiece.
Evolution left these birds flightless, but that doesn't mean they can't fly.
As you travel upriver, the modern world seems to fall away. It feels like a trip back in time.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app.
It is just about time for the first of two today. The 3A state championship, the 4A state championship to follow, but Fordyce and Mansfield at midfield. Well, for Fordyce, they're the visiting team in this. Let's take a look at how they got there. They had to win 4 games in the playoffs. They took care of Jesseville quite handily, 46-0 in the first round, and then a really good matchup against Charleston. They actually won that one late, 36-35. Beat Mayflower, a good Mayflower team, 28-14 before rumbling against Boonville. They were up 18-7 late in that game. Boonville scored late, made it close, had a chance to take the lead, but Fordyce prevails. They make it to the championship game, and boy, a lot of the reason why is a guy, Micah Gamble.
Micah Gamble, like a lot of the other players in this contest, are banged up, but he's had a really good season. 1,600 yards on the ground, 22 touchdowns. And talking with Coach Timothy Rogers, he says they're going to give the football to him as long as teams are not stopping him on the ground. Some keys to the game for Fordyce. Well, they've got to find a way to give Ellison some time. The quarterback partially tore his ACL earlier in the season. Find a way to protect the quarterback, and anytime you're playing a flexbone team, JB, got to stop the fullback.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That story in Ellison's pretty impressive. We'll get to that later on. Let's take a look at Mansfield. Perfect season thus far. First ever trip to the big dance, but they got a bye in the first round. That's just how things shook up. They won the next 3 quite handedly, beat Walnut Ridge by 3 scores. Same thing against a good Bismarck team, mind you. And then the offense against Mansfield, 48-22 against a good Salem team. The Tigers haven't had an easy road here, but they've made it look easy. They're quite impressive, and so is Andrew Burton.
You saw the 2 teams they beat in the last 2 rounds, Bismarck and Salem. That was the state championship game a year ago. So Mansfield's been tested, and the fullback, as we mentioned earlier, for Fordyce has to stop Andrew Burton. 2,200 yards, 37 touchdowns. He's going to be the straw that stirs the drink for the Mansfield Tigers. Some keys to the game for Mansfield? Well, one, they got to establish the run game. That's obviously a given, but they've got to find a way to stop the other running back, and that's Micah Gamble. And again, do what you do. They run the football, they run it well, hand the ball off to the fullback, make Fordyce find a way to slow you down.
Well, it's going to be a little bit chilly out there in the elements, and we got Tyler Cass down on the sidelines. He'll be there all game long. He's down there battling the elements as well.
Yeah, guys, you mentioned Fordyce needing to slow down that Mansfield rushing attack. Last week in the semifinal against Boonville, they got pretty much the exact same kind of offense and held them to just 13 points. But Redbug head coach Tim Rogers was telling me earlier this week, it was a bit muddy in that game. Yeah, it's chilly down here, but, well, hard to get mud on artificial turf. So we'll see how everything shakes out in the 3A state title game. It's only going to get colder. Hopefully the skies don't open up. The players will deal with it. I'll deal with it. The important people back in the booth, though, they get to stay nice and warm calling this one. That's you guys. Bobby and JB, back to you.
Oh, thanks so much, Tyler. Yeah, very thankful that we do not have to be out in the elements. But regardless of whatever comes our way, we're in store for a good one. Fordyce, really good defense, got good offense, but Mansfield's been putting up offense aplenty. Both teams very similar in so many ways. I think this matches up quite well.
Yeah, you look at the path that Fordyce went through in the postseason. A lot of teams didn't know, or a lot of fans may not have thought that Fordyce had the talent, the depth to make the run through that bottom half of the bracket, which was so deep. But they've already taken out 2 teams from Mansfield's conference, talking about Charleston and Boonville, sandwiched against a contest against Mayflower, who a lot of people thought had the best defense in the state in Class 3A. So they're battle tested, they're banged up, but once you get to the final game of the year, it doesn't matter. Everybody's injured, everybody's hurting, everybody's going to be limping around. Can you make the critical play in the right moment to help your team win a 3A state championship?
Both teams just about ready to go. So is our refereeing crew. It'll be Joey Phillips, our head referee, Matt Odom, Alan Stafford, Lance Pasco, Jeff Lewis, and Bobby Tillery. The crew today for this 3A state championship. Fordyce will get the football first. They're looking to receive Mansfield on to kick things away. Usually go with a sky kick. They're likely not going to allow a playmaker to get anything rolling. It'll be Jeffney Smithson to get things rolling for Mansfield. We're just about set. Hands in the air. Smithson waiting for the signal.
Got to wait for that clock to expire. Everybody's ready to go. So it's kind of like that basketball tip you see a lot of times. Everybody's out there ready to go. These are horses in the gates. Then they're ready to take off.
There you go. Clock has expired. We're set. Nothing is in the way between the start of this 3A state championship. Jeff Neesmithson, hand is up. Here's the signal, and we are underway. Sky kick going to land. It's going to be touched by a Mansfield player, and we'll see what it's ruled. Oh, my goodness, at the 40-yard line. Tigers may have recovered. Oh, my goodness. We'll wait on the official signal. The refereeing crew got a decision to make early.
The sky kick caused a little confusion with the Fordyce return team.
Red ball.
And they are going to give the football to Mansfield. So the most important thing is this is just like an onside kick. It has to cross the 50-yard line. It looks like it does. Mansfield recovers the football. Fordyce not expecting the sky kick right there. They don't come up and catch the football, and the Tigers steal a possession to start.
Well, how about that for Matthew Burton to keep that ball in play? It was going to go out of bounds. And then the freshman Colton Moore on the kickoff team recovers. Tigers get the football after the turnover forced on the very first play of the game.
So this is going to be a reviewable play, and they're going to take a look at it. So what they have to determine here, JB, is did the football travel 10 yards before it was touched by Mansfield? Because if they touch it at 9.9 yards, it's going to be Fordyce football near midfield.
And we saw that in the 5A state championship game, Lakeside and Robinson. It went almost 10, 9.9 before it was touched. This one here.
So it's going to be pretty easy to determine this. Did it across the midfield stripe before it was touched?
No doubt.
So this is the angles they're looking at. You just have to make sure it crosses the 50 before the Mansfield player touched the football. Was that Matthew Burton? It looks like that swatted it back in. Honestly, the top angle may be the best look at it.
Sure.
Because you're going to have to be able to see the yard markers to establish where the 50 is.
I don't see how they don't keep this as stands, right? I mean, but again, that's a heads-up play from Burton to tip that ball back in play because he's likely not going to be able to catch it and land in bounds.
Yep. And you know, all week long, Fordyce has talked to their team about that, and here's the call.
After review, the play on the field stands.
Wow, there you have it. That's exactly what we thought was going to be. They reviewed it as they should, and it stands.
So, but what I was mentioning there is Fordyce, you know, they talked about that sky kick all week long. They weren't going to get the ball kicked deep to them. They ran a kickoff back earlier in the postseason, but you got to be ready for it. And maybe the nerves came into it a little bit too early. Too many white hats watching the football instead of going to get it.
Well, here's a look at this flex bone offense for Mansfield. Jubal Parks will be the quarterback under center for the Tigers, a sophomore. He's got three different options and a lot of Burtons to go to. They'll give it off up the middle to the fullback, right up the gut. Andrew Burton gets the first touch, and it's a big gain.
That's going to be the important part for Fordyce. Stop the fullback first because that's what this offense is predicated on.
Here's a look at their starting lineup. Jubal Parks, the quarterback. Andrew Burton, Jeremiah Burton, Silas Burton. There's three of them to go to. And then Carter, Walters, Orr, and Martin. The front five with Bosley and Orr on the outsides.
The flex bone is really all about what you're going to give me as a defense. If you give me 7 yards and fullback dive, we're going to run it all day long.
Second down and short. Parks going to go toss play to the left side. Plenty of running room inside the 30, 25, near the 20-yard line. Jeremiah Burton, the sophomore, with a big carry, and it moves the chains.
You heard Tyler mention holding Boonville to just 13 points a week ago. But when Boonville did have a little bit of success, it was on the exterior of the defense, on the edges, outside the tackle, whether it be the option play or the toss play. Look for Mansfield to see if Fordyce has shored that up in the last week.
So far, we've seen one up the middle and one to the outside, so they've mixed things up a little bit. This is a Mansfield team that averages nearly 340 yards rushing per game. They don't pass it a ton, as you might imagine. A little QB keep for Jubal Parks. Not a ton there, but a 3-yard game inside the red zone.
That was the first look at the option there for Mansfield, and Fordyce did a really nice job of setting the edge, making the quarterback, Jubal Parks, keep the football and held him to a minimal gain.
It's big for Fordyce. You got to stay with your assignments. And those types of plays, if you lose your guy, there's nobody there. They stayed on assignment, forced him to the inside. Second down, call it 7 for Mansfield. If you're just now joining us, Fordyce won the toss they received. Mansfield recovered the sky kick, so they got the football first, but we'll have a flag here on second down, and there might have been movement.
Dead ball, leg motion, offense, 5-yard penalty, still play second down.
So it is a 5-yard penalty, backs them up. Here's a look at the Red Bug defense. Vincent Stroud, Daniel Warner, Bryant Robinson, and Kyle Randall. TJ Harris and Al Amos there in the loading the box. And then the secondary, Tristan Winston, Tremaine Turner, Xavier Jones, Jamartez Stroud. Keep your eye on him. And then Micah Gamble, two really big playmakers. Second down and 12 after the penalty. They'll give it off to Andrew Burton, needing big yardage. He does that, gains everything back and a little bit more before they finally gang tackle him. But that's a big gain there, 6-7 yards perhaps, and it's third down and manageable.
Andrew Burton is going to just be the sledgehammer, if you will. Can Fordyce build a wall and shut down the interior run game? But 2,200 yards and 37 touchdowns, nobody, and I mean nobody in Class 3 has found a way to stop down the fullback from Mansfield.
No doubt about it. Burton scored on the very first play of the offense last week in the matchup against Salem. He scored the first 2 touchdowns for the Tigers, and I think that kind of comes with the territory. He scores most of their touchdowns anyway, so naturally he's going to score the first 2. Fordyce needed to get a stop here. Third down and 5. Pitch play. They go to Jeremiah Burton inside the 15. He's close to the first down marker, but he's going to be short, and it's fourth down. Let's call it 1.
Instead of trying to stretch that to the outside, it looks like Burton might have had a little space there. He cuts it back in against the grain, allowed the Fordyce defense to rally to the football. It's 4th and short, and no sign of the kicking team.
Now, this is a team that always goes for both teams on 2-point conversions. They're likely never going to kick. Might have been movement up front. Well, the flag comes in. I think it was a little bit delayed. Finally, 2 flags come out, and that might be costly.
Dead ball. Look at motion. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay there.
Actually get lucky there. Does Mansfield. They get the motion penalty, of course, but both of them going backwards in motion when they snapped the football likely shouldn't have been blown dead unless one of the linemen up front moved, which would have caused it to be blown dead.
That's a great catch there, Bobby.
So now 4th and 6, and we've got to ask that official to turn his mic off.
No kidding. It's a pretty loud whistle, wasn't it? It works. The whistle works. So does the mic.
My ears do not now.
Here we go. Big time play right here. 4th down and 6. Fordyce looking for a stop. Mansfield trying to keep the opening drive alive. Pitch play to Andrew Burton. Got a hole. Bounces off 1 tackle. Trying to get the first down. He's going to be short. Fordyce with a big stop. Jamartez Stroud, the junior.
It's a big time defensive stop for the Redbugs. Mansfield stole all the momentum early by recovering the onside kick. The Redbug defense gets a stand, and now we're finally going to see that Fordyce offense.
8:33 to play in the opening quarter, just underway. We'll step aside from War Memorial Stadium. Got a good one brewing in the capital city.
Everyone's so happy you're home, darling. Come inside. It's just so exciting. It's a real treat.
What an amazing family.
Let's get this show on the road!
That sounds like a party.
Marvelous.
Will I get presents?
Oh, I love this.
Want to see even more Arkansas stories? Subscribe to Arkansas PBS on YouTube for original productions, extras from your favorite local programs, behind-the-scenes videos, and our exclusive coverage of high school sports. All available on demand and all Arkansas made. Don't miss out on more great Arkansas stories. Subscribe now.
This month in Passport on the PBS app.
It's a stirring celebration with unforgettable music from the Tabernacle Choir and Orchestra at Temple Square.
This is Gospel Messiah.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app.
Welcome back to Little Rock, Arkansas. Fordyce was supposed to get the football first, but the sky kick was recovered by Mansfield. So this will be Fordyce's first look of their offense, and Andrew Ellison playing with quite the injury. He's a tough kid. Micah Gamble, TJ Harris, Caden Quimby, Jamartez Stroud, and Xavier Jones, the offensive players, and then Stroud, Warner, Robinson, Ledbetter, and Randall from left to right. on the front line. First play going to go to the air. Ellison's got a gun deep over the middle on the left side. Just overthrew the streaking Jamartez Stroud.
Exactly what we expected to see from this Fordyce team. 3 steps and going to let it go. And they've got big-time playmakers on the outside. Micah Gamble will sometimes line up in the backfield, sometimes at running back, and that time Jamartez Stroud, who also has an offer from UCA. That one came in yesterday, tried to take the top off the defense, just overthrows his target.
Yeah, he had a step on his defender, and I think maybe a little communication there, because if he looked up sooner, maybe he could have went out and got it. Pass was a little off target. Regardless, I like the call there from Fordyce, going to take a big shot early. 2nd and 10. They're going to give it off up the middle this time, fighting for yardage, but a swarm of Tigers will corral him at the 15-yard line. Not a whole lot of room there.
Kind of a unique offense for Fordyce, so that they line up in the power I, but no tight end, so you can't really identify which is the strength of the offense. Trying to get 2 lead blockers in front of Gamble, but Mansfield does a great job of rallying to the football and shuts it down after a gain of 2.
Micah Gamble, playmaker, got his first touch of the game. 3rd down and 8. Going to need to get some big yardage here, and likely going to be forced to punt. Ellison going to throw. Quick out route. Complete at the 20. Across the 25. First down yardage on the out route. Complete to Xavier Jones, the senior, coming up big in the championship game.
Second leading receiver for Fordyce coming into the contest. His 19th catch of the season, but it's the quick out route. Mansfield's defense knows they have to give a cushion because they don't have the speed advantage. Take advantage of a cushion there to the defense. Pick up the first down.
That's a great point. Mansfield's not going to give up the big play. And I think that's what you could say from both teams. Games like this, turnovers are going to be big, but also penalties. And we've seen that early against Mansfield. The penalties have bit them. 1st and 10, a big gain. They're going big again. Ellison over left sideline. Stroud in stride, and he's stripped up at the 15-yard line. Big gain, but a shoestring tackle to save a touchdown.
Fordyce has already identified if Mansfield's going to go man-to-man on the outside, we're going to make you go to work. And that time Stroud just on the streaking route down the sideline. Quarterback missed him on the first try, but we talked about how strong the arm was. Look at that. Just throw it out there, let your receiver run underneath it, and a game-saving tackle made in the secondary for Mansfield.
Jeremiah Burton was the one, but how about Ellison? You see the cannon there. That ball was on the money to Jamartez Stroud, and he did the rest. 1st down and 10 inside the 20. They'll try to bounce it to the outside edge, but Mansfield, nice pursuit, and they keep him from getting to the edge.
You're not going to have that luxury down here in the red zone, but what you're trying to do if you're Fordyce is you throw the football deep enough times to make sure those safeties don't creep down to help out in the run game. You hit them over the top, then those safeties start staying back. That opens up things for Gamble in the rushing attack.
That is a great breakdown of what you see. And that's why it's important to either A, establish the run game, or, hey, get some deep on the big pass plays. It opens things up. Expert analysis there, Bobby.
Mansfield just going with the 3-high look. The safeties are walked down here in the red zone.
2nd down and 10. Ellison under center. Going to give it off to Gamble. Trying to go right side. Couple of yards, maybe 3 to the 12.
Not a lot of room in the running game so far for Fordyce. Mansfield going hat for hat, fitting the run lanes. They're forcing Fordyce to throw the football, which may not be a good thing for Mansfield, what we've seen on this opening drive for the Red Bugs.
You get close in the red zone, your yardage shrinks a little bit, so you can't go over the top as much. Changes things. Mansfield looking for a stop. Fordyce got one in the red zone against Mansfield earlier. Play action. Ellison got a man complete inside the 10. Dancing around, trying to get the first down. He's going to be shy of the line to gain. TJ Harris was the target, and it's 4th and short.
That's a great read by the quarterback to recognize both of his receivers are double teamed. The corners and safeties are walked up. So he gets the fullback coming out of the backfield, dumps it off, and now it's 4th and short. Big play here in the first quarter.
No doubt about it. Silas Burton made a big tackle after the miss. 4th down and short. Call it 2. Ellison, hard count. Tigers did not move into the neutral zone. Got plenty of time on the play clock. And the play's blown dead. Might be a timeout for Fordyce. Coach Rogers wants to talk things over.
Timeout. Fordyce. First charge, other half.
Well, we've taken a look at really all sides of the football. The last piece left is the Mansfield defense. Ethan Martin, James Bousley, Caden Orr, and Matthew Burton. Logan Orr, Xander Walters, or the linebackers, and then 5 in the secondary. Cooper Edwards, Jeremiah Burton, Silas Burton, Andrew Burton, Joe Carter. 4 Burtons there on the defensive side of the ball.
That is a family that certainly made an impact on this football program. We had a chance to talk with Will Overton earlier this week, and what he's done since he's taken over the last 3 years is arguably the 3 best seasons in Mansfield football history. Double-digit wins, a pair of trips to the semifinals before they finally broke 3 to the championship game this year. 35 victories over the last handful of seasons. Really, really impressive to see that turnaround. Everybody automatically talks about Boonville and Charleston and even Lavaca at times from that conference, but Mansfield finally making a name for themselves.
No doubt about it. And on this staff, you know, Coach Whit Overton said he's basically the only one that's even made it to a state championship game. He was on staff at Boonville for Coach Crowley there, so he's played in 2 or coached in 2 state championships. But having that Burton, right, the Burton family, there's 8 of them, 4 biological, 4 adopted. Man, they really make an impact on that team.
No doubt. It's a big, big 4th down here, though. Got to believe battle's going to be won up front, on D-line.
In the trenches. Here we go, out of the timeout. Ellison going to give it off. Gamble trying to go the outside. He's not going to get there. Tigers bow up and a big 4th down stop.
That play was made on the edge, JB. Mansfield did a great job of rotating up, bringing pressure from the outside, forces Gamble to push it back in. The rest of the Mansfield defense rallies to the football and shuts it down. Top of your screen, the pressure comes in and makes the play. All the credit has to go to Cooper Edwards. He's the reason Mansfield just got a 4th down stop.
Xander Walters, the big boy up front to make the big-time stop. They'll have it now. 1st and 10 at their own 6-yard line. Tigers trying to march down the field. So both teams have come up empty, 0 for 1 on their trips.
Who can finish drives, JB? That may be the name of the game. I think we're going to see a lot of offense between the 30s. Who can punch it in the end zone?
Jubal Parks, the handoff to the left side, and he has stood up, maybe a yard, maybe 2 for Andrew Burton, but the Fordyce front line, great pursuit.
Yeah, Riley Hilliard also comes through, number 10 for Fordyce, big hit in the hole.
Let's take a step down to Tyler Cass. He's got some stuff on the Fordyce defense.
Yeah, guys, you just saw what the defense was able to do on that first drive, bending but not breaking. It was actually a point coming into the season. Head coach Tim Rogers was a little worried about who was going to step up. They lost a lot of guys from last year. Now, though, he jokes to the defensive coordinator, hey, if you get a shutout, I can score at least once. I don't know if it'll be a shutout, but we'll see both teams probably scoring at least once.
You would imagine so with playmakers like Andrew Burton and Micah Gamble. That's Burton there on the 2nd straight carry, and this time it's enough for a 1st down.
Vincent Stroud, 52 for Fordyce, had to hang on for dear life because if he doesn't bring Burton down, the fullback may still be running.
Man, that's a strong fullback. Andrew Burton, not only is he strong, he's super fast too, but very impressive player. One that Mansfield's going to remember for a long time. Win or lose this game, Burton's etched his name in the Mansfield history books. Going to go on a pitch play end around right side. Not a whole lot there. 3, maybe 4 yards to Silas Burton, the sophomore, with a nice carry.
We were talking with Coach Overton earlier this week, and when he said, of course, you're going to have to fullback. This got to be a nasty streak. And we said, when did you realize that Andrew Burton was going to be your guy? He's like, when I walked into the weight room and saw him power playing 350. When you've got your strongest guy and your hardest working guy right in the middle of your offense, you're going to be pretty successful.
No doubt about it. And a great guy, too, right? Great kid. He's a leader on the team. He does it in all facets of the game. They'll give it off to Andrew Burton. Got a seam, breaks a couple of tackles, got a 1st down, but hold your horses. There's a flag in the backfield, and this one might be coming back.
So one thing you cannot do if you're an offense, it's built on running the football.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
So instead of the football being all the way out to the 35-yard line and a fresh set of downs, it's going to be back inside the 15, and you're way behind the sticks.
2 things that both coaches we talked about say, hey, what are going to be the keys? And they said, hey, keys in these state championship games are, as you might expect, it's the turnovers, but then it's also the penalties, right? Who limits those? So far, Mansfield's had a lot of costly turnovers, or penalties, excuse me.
Got to find a way to get that yardage back now and get to a 3rd manageable.
2nd and 16, faking the pitch. Parks going to go to the air, got a man wide open. Trying to go over the top. There's going to be a pass interference. The pass was underthrown, but no chance for Jeremiah Burton to make the catch, and that's the first penalty against Fordyce.
Yeah, not a bad penalty, to be quite honest, JB. That breaks up a huge gain and maybe even a touchdown, as the receiver was streaking wide open on the backside of that play action. That might have been a score. So honestly, the pass interference not the end of the world.
Defense, 15 yards, still be second down.
And that's the important thing. Of course, in high school, it's only a 15-yard penalty. It's not a spot foul like it is on Sundays. And so it's not really that bad of a penalty. It doesn't even give up a first down. But now instead of second and a mile, it's second and not very much.
My math tells me second and 2's not very long.
Yep. I'm not a math guy, so I look at the sticks on the side.
I'll call it a second and a short 2, yard and a half perhaps. Very manageable for Mansfield, but you're right. That penalty, not the worst thing in the world. QB keep, option left side. They're flipping out, spin move. Jeremiah Burton got some room. He rumbles past the 40-yard line on a big first down.
Yep. People who watch this and have never run the option in their life don't understand how difficult it is as a quarterback to hold the football that long. You ride the fullback, you pull it, and then you pitch it at the absolute last moment. Almost might have been a forward pass, still behind the line of scrimmage, but a great play for Mansfield. And what was second and 17, fresh set of downs out past the 40.
Yeah, the difference of holding on later or doing too early is the difference between a first down and a big gain or no gain at all. His timing was perfect. They'll give it off Andrew Burton. Right side, not much, 2 yards perhaps. Good job by the front line for Fordyce.
The scheme defensively against an attack like this is assignment football. You have to tell your players, okay, you have this all game long.
Yep.
You have the fullback, you have the quarterback, you have the pitch play. And if you have a bust, and that's when you see big plays. Timothy Rogers told us earlier this week, it was like against Boonville, they played perfect, essentially defensively, for all three except for 2 plays. Guess what happened on those 2 plays? They were touchdowns for Boonville. So you have to play assignment football when you play an offense like this.
That's what he said. They said, Coach, we only missed 1 or 2. Those are the ones that cost you, right? You can't take a play off. Pitch play right side, outside the tackles. 4, 5 yards perhaps, and it brings up 3rd and short.
Silas Burton takes the toss there. Again, Fordyce sets the edge, forces that back in. We're going to say that a lot today because that really is going to be the key. Which defense can force everything back to the inside? But both of these offenses can break big plays if they get outside the hashes against your defense.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, there's so many things you could key on. Turnovers, penalties, limiting the big plays. But you're right. It's the battle at the line. Who keeps them in the middle portion of the field? Inside the tackles. That's where it's won.
You don't think about defensive backs, coming up and playing the run game a lot, but against these 2 teams, your secondary members are going to have to make big plays.
And both these defenses know this offense really well, right? They both run very similar. They're going to go back, end around, reverse, across midfield, inside the 40. Jeremiah Burton bounced out of bounds inside the 30, but 20-plus yards on the end around.
What did we just say, JB? Got to be able to set the edge, and that time a little bit of misdirection. You get the flow of the defense going to their left, and Mansfield on the end around. You call that reverse, whatever you want. They hand it to the wing back coming back the other direction, and nobody's out there. You got a couple pulling linemen out in front, and a huge play for Mansfield. They're inside the 30.
Big run. Fordyce, though, as you might expect, you've got to limit the touchdown in those scenarios. We saw Stroud for Fordyce get stopped at the 15. They weren't able to score. You got to keep those big plays limited as much as possible. Andrew Burton breaks 1 tackle, breaks 2, can't break the 30. He's in the red zone, though. 8 yards on first down. That's a hard-nosed run.
You got to be able to wrap up and make a play one-on-one. He runs through 1 tackle, but Michael Gamble comes over and cleans it up, but not before you pick up 8 yards. And that's why tackling is so important, because you stop him for a gain of 4. Guess what? 4 yards after contact makes it second down and short.
And that last contact from Gamble likely saves a touchdown once again. Burton's a guy who can break through any kind of tackle. Now going in the I formation is Mansfield. Parks pitches it back to Andrew Burton. Spins around, not a ton there. He'll be shy of the line to gain. 3rd down, call it 1 after the pitch play to Andrew Burton.
And Mansfield can take this to the quarter and think about this 3rd down call if they choose to do so. And it looks like they're going to. Like we expected, smash mouth football. No points in this first quarter.
Defenses have showed up big. That will be the end of the first quarter. Scoreless after 1 from Little Rock. Don't go anywhere. Fordyce and Mansfield locked in a dandy.
See, your state government in action. The Arkansas Citizens Access Network provides convenient, live streaming coverage of state board and commission meetings, as well as direct links to proceedings of the legislature and the Arkansas Supreme Court. Can't watch live? Archived events are available on demand on YouTube. Learn more at myarkansasPBS.org/Arcan.
It's primetime on your time. Get more of your primetime favorites each weekday starting at 1:30 following our PBS Kids programs. Catch up on all the programs you love, including Exploring Arkansas, Nature, Antiques Roadshow, Arkansas Week, British Favorites, Mysteries, and more, beginning at 1:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. See the full schedule and all the ways to watch at myarkansaspbs.org/watch.
Everyone's so happy you're home, darling. Come inside. It's just so exciting. It's a real treat.
What an amazing family.
Let's get this show on the road!
That sounds like a party.
Marvelous.
Will I get presents?
Oh, I love this!
This is a Mansfield offense that has put up quite the offensive numbers in the rushing game. As a matter of fact, they've rushed for more than 4,600 yards this season. I'll tell you what, let's take a look at some trivia. What's the state record for rush yards by a team in a single season, Bobby?
Ooh, a team. You think about of all the great offenses and running backs that we've seen in Arkansas through the years. I don't know if you've ever heard of Darren McFadden, who played his high school ball in the state. Peyton Hillis.
Yep.
But you think about the great teams, of course, the Barton teams that ran the football, KAFT and Coach Mike Melham that ran the Dead T. Maybe a 3A team that Fordyce beat last week comes to mind, Boonville and their state championship runs.
That's right. And teams that run these types of offenses typically will have that. So that's a good guess. We'll see what the answer is a little bit later. Second quarter action. It's Mansfield football inside the red zone. Third down and short. Fordyce looking for a stop. Mansfield looking for a first down. Give it to Burton. Up the middle. Looks like he's got just enough to move the chain to the 15. And indeed it will be. So 1st and 10 now at the Fordyce 15-yard line. And that's what you want to see. 3rd and short, go to your playmaker, Burton. Let him play some hard-nosed football.
Yeah, Mansfield came up with the big stop earlier on 3rd and 4th and short. Fordyce couldn't get the stop there. And Mansfield can pick up a first down without scoring here, so full arsenal of weapons coming up.
New set of downs, 15-yard line. Jubal Parks under center. Going to pitch it right side. Silas Burton trying to get to the edge. He's not going to be able to. Gang tackled. It was Xavier Jones, the one that got to him first, and he throws him for a loss.
Great job by Fordyce of winning first down. Keep Mansfield behind the chains. That's how you're going to be successful defensively. They go toss play. They set the edge on the outside. The rest of the defense comes through. Gamble made everything turn back in. Not going to get credit for the tackle, but he's the one that made the play.
So Xavier Jones, it'll move now to the right hash. They'll say he got back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. 2nd and 10. Clock rolling, under 11 minutes to play until halftime. Parks fakes the pitch, gives it to Burton, reverses field, flag comes in. Burton inside the 10, got the first down, dives to the end zone. They'll say he stepped out of bounds right at the 5, but the flag in the backfield, that might be costly.
It's a great looking play. You fake the toss sweep, you go with the counter coming back, but the play is coming back.
Offense, 10-yard penalty. Second down.
That's going to erase a great move by Burton in the backfield. Take a look at this. Here's the counter play coming right at you, and this move to avoid Gamble uses that extra blocker, gets to the outside, but wipe it away instead of 1st and goal at the 1. They're all the way back to the 25.
And this is something that's starting to pile up for Mansfield, right? It's not been the turnovers, but it's been the penalties, and of the large variety. Holding 10 yards, that'll kill you every time.
Got a chance to get into the end zone, and You know, Mansfield's been able to wipe away a couple penalties, one because of a big run, one because of a Fordyce penalty. Yep. This is not going to be a recipe for success for the Tigers, though.
Got a short field, got to do something with it now. Second down and 20. Park's going to throw. Now he's looking. Pocket collapse. He's going to have to tuck it and run. He's hit at the 25-yard line. Might have got a yard. Brings up 3rd down and 19.
You know, Parks does have 700 yards rushing on the season. They don't call his number a ton to throw the football, but that time, you know, that's not when Mansfield's going to be set up for success. A straight drop back pass. Fordyce knows it's coming. That was well covered. Pass rush finally gets home.
Now on 3rd and 19. If you're Fordyce, you just can't afford to give up a big play here, right?
Yeah, you're really hoping for half of it back, to be quite honest. If you're a Mansfield player, Fordyce, you're exactly right. You can't have the penalties, can't let anything over the top of your head.
Tigers trying to get it to 4th and manageable. They'd love more than that. Man in motion. Parks, option, outside Burton, bobbles it, keeps it inside the 20, not a ton, still on his feet. And he's pushing it to the 16-yard line. That's just what the doctor ordered for Mansfield. It's 4th and about 11.
A little different look there for Mansfield. They send the receiver in motion. As soon as you snap it, he puts his foot in the ground, comebacks the other way on the quick pitch. If he handles that cleanly, maybe he picks up another extra couple of yards, but instead got about half of it back now. Now it's 4th and 11 for Mansfield, which is a whole lot better than they were facing.
And I think if nothing else for Burt, at least held onto the football, right? Couldn't have afforded a turnover, especially if you get this 1st down or a touchdown here. Yeah. Holding on the ball will be crucial.
Fordyce came up with the big stop last time out. Looks like Mansfield may take a timeout to discuss things on this 4th play. Another huge play coming. Red zone stops are going to be the key today.
We've already seen 2 of them, one for each team. Neither side's technically had a turnover. I guess Mansfield did recover the sky kick on the opening kickoff, so they got the football first, even though Fordyce was supposed to. But neither team has been able to punch one into the end zone. Still scoreless with 9:09 to play until halftime.
Tell me, have you ever truly been in love?
Once.
What happened?
You are an excellent detective.
The world has changed. We need to change with it.
This is the place to meet the right people.
You must have hope. You cannot live without hope.
Coming soon to Arkansas PBS. This month in Passport on the PBS app.
A race.
The loss is catastrophic for us.
To restore a medieval masterpiece.
Evolution left these birds flightless, but that doesn't mean they can't fly.
As you travel upriver, the modern world seems to fall away. It feels like a trip back in time.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app.
Sports is so important to this state and the fabric of the state, and I appreciate Arkansas PBS doing all the state title games, and that makes it available for not just the fans in Central Arkansas, South Arkansas, but fans around the entire state. I can only think of the kids in small towns, and this is the biggest moment maybe in their sports careers, and they have that keepsake of having that game on TV to have with them the rest of their lives.
We will see what this Mansfield offense has in store after the timeout. Fordyce looking to make a stop on 4th and 11. Both teams 0 for 1 on 4th downs, and the Tigers hoping they got something in the playbook.
This is where you look for something unique, whether it's a double handoff, the reverse we've already seen from Mansfield. Don't know that you can really rely on Burton breaking 4 or 5 tackles right up the gut.
Parks under center. They'll move a man in motion. Jeremiah Burton, little toss play in around pass play. Looking to the left side of the end zone. Broken up in the back of the end zone. Fordyce was ready. Pass was slightly underthrown, and they turn him over on downs.
If that ball comes out 2 steps earlier, that's a wide open touchdown, but the defense had time to recognize trick play to get over there. Well-designed play right there. Set up and throw it back. He lost the footing, had to regrip the football. That allowed the defense to get back. The ball kind of hangs up just a little bit, and the Redbugs get a big red zone stop.
That was a huge stop. They were trying to find Joe Carter and near the back of the end zone. Turnover on down, so now Mansfield's 0 for 2 on 4th downs today. Fordyce 0 for 1, but they have the football back with 9:01 to play until halftime. Still no score.
Now we're going to see the adjustment, the chess game, if you will, JB. Fordyce has struggled to run the football out of that power I. Now they're going traditional 4 wide with the spread.
Shotgun for Ellison. Looking to throw. He's in trouble, trying to scramble, and he's undercut at the 15-yard line. He'll lose a yard, try to step up into the pocket, but it collapsed.
That's going to be where it's really big for Mansfield, to get after Ellison, the quarterback. Not real mobile because of the knee injury. Find a way to make him uncomfortable, move the feet in the pocket, and that's where they're going to be successful on the pass rush. Sideline warning there on Fordyce, so no harm there, but you can just see Ellison, big body in the backfield, 6'3", 260. The knee brace on that right knee, just cannot move as well as he could earlier in the season.
That was Ethan Martin, the one who got the sack. 2nd and 11. That's what Coach Whit Overton said for his team. We have got to make him uncomfortable throwing the ball, got to apply pressure. They're going to give it off to Gamble out of the gun. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, and then he is brought down by a host of Tigers after a short gain. It's 3rd and long.
Front 4 from Mansfield won the battle at the line of scrimmage, and that's why that play doesn't work. If they breaks the initial line, you've got the defense spread out with the 4 wide receivers. You've got a chance to pop the big play. But those guys who rarely get recognition up front for Mansfield, 1 second down.
And that's what's led to this 3rd and long. If you're Fordyce, you've got to have time to throw the deep ball if you're trying to get that 1st down. So that offensive line critical to give Ellison time. He's going to throw, rolls out, right side, got all kinds of time. Over the middle. Behind him, it's caught. 1st down and more across the 35 to the 39-yard line. What a play. Jamarcus Cranford with a big catch. Or excuse me, Jamartez Stroud. That's a really nice catch. Thrown behind him, still made the play.
Great adjustment, tips the ball to himself, had to catch it 2 or 3 times, breaks through a tackle, a huge 3rd down conversion to get out of the shadow of your own goalpost.
Wow, Jamartez Stroud's a very impressive player. That's a ball that likely a lot of players aren't able to haul it in. The concentration to tip it to himself. 1st and 10. Move a man in motion, end around, trying to get to the edge. Flag comes in. That's going to be a hold down the sideline. Nobody's going to get him. The 20, the 10, into the end zone. We're going to have a horse collar, though. But what a run from Tremaine Turner. We'll see what happens on these penalties.
That horse collar at the very end is going to make these offsetting penalties because it's a pair of holding calls, one in the backfield, one by a receiver near the Mansfield sideline. Add the horse collar at the end. This is going to be wiped clean, and we're just going to redo 1st down, I would believe. The horse collar at the end, which saves a touchdown that was going to be wiped out anyway, is going to be a big penalty against Mansfield.
No doubt. How about Turner walking the tightrope to stay in bounds? There's the hold right there.
Plain as day. 2 fouls on the play. First one's personal foul, horse collar, defense. Next one's holding on the offense. Those penalties offset. We're going to replay the down.
So 2 different holding calls against Fordyce, and now the horse collar on the other end. It's 2 pretty obvious holds, and you see the one right there in the middle of your screen, trying to set the edge there, and Cooper Edwards trying to battle through it, and here's the horse collar at the end. Pretty obvious, grabs the back of the jersey, the opening of the shoulder pads, pulls him down. If that doesn't happen, though, JB, it's 1st and 20. Instead, wipe it all clean.
No doubt. It was already, the touchdown was coming back, but now it offsets, so it's manageable for Fordyce. Penalties have come in big today, no question. 7:15 to play in the half. Shotgun for Ellison. Going to throw on 1st down. Steps up, going big ball, right side. Complete at the 30. Bumped out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Xavier Jones with a big catch down the sideline.
Jones only had 18 catches all season long, but 2 huge receptions already here in the 1st half for Fordyce.
Man, he just a rocket from Ellison. We've been impressed with his arm today. We've been talked about how good his arm is. You know, his father, Andrew Ellison, as well.
Yeah.
A gritty player. He played for Coach Rogers, said that they are from the same blood. They are very tough players. I mean, he's out there playing with an ACL injury.
And he makes it look effortless, throwing the ball 40 and 50 yards downfield.
On 1st and 10 at the 25. Ellison got time. Dumps it over in the flat, had a man, but too tall for his intended receiver, and it's 2nd down and 10. And while we got a moment, let's head down to Tyler on the sidelines.
Yeah, guys, you just mentioned quarterback Andrell Ellison and his father, Andrell Ellison Sr., and he said they wanted to give him a nickname so that no one would ever confuse both of their exploits for the Redbugs, and it was pretty easy. In Fordyce, the quarterback's known as Cadillac, and when I asked his dad why Cadillac, he just kind of laughed and said, "Look at him."
No doubt. Cadillac gives it off to Michael Gamble, trying to get inside the 25. He'll get a couple of yards. Ball is loose. They'll say
blown dead.
Blown dead.
Forward progress was stopped, and they might have named him Cadillac. He's got a big frame, but Mack Truck is a fitting title as well. It is a big body back there at quarterback, and I am excited to see him healthy.
Wow. If they go take a look, that ball might have been coming out. They may not go take a look at that. That was huge.
Yeah. I think they ruled it forward progress would not be reviewable, and there was no clear and obvious recovery at the end. Mansfield did not jump on the football.
Gamble, though, got tangled up. You saw at the end, his kind of foot got locked back. He's hobbling off the field for the play. Keep our eye on that. 3rd down and 6 nonetheless. Ellison rolls right. Gonna go to the sideline. It's complete for a 1st down inside the 15. Xavier Jones again with a big-time catch.
I don't know if people understand how big of a throw that is. You're on the hash, the near side, and you throw a dart to the far sideline. Again, Jones with a reception. He's having himself a day here in the first half.
That's a great concentration. Ball's a little tall, but you put it where you want to. Ellison, a nice job to get it to him, and Xavier Jones does the rest. 1st and 10 now at the 15. Both teams have not been able to capitalize in the red zone. Let's see what Fordyce does this time. And we'll have a flag.
Pre-snap penalties will kill you every time, especially in the red zone.
Dead ball. False start offense. 5-yard penalty. Give me 1st down.
These two teams are just moving the ball up and down the field. 151s already for Fordyce, 120 for Mansfield. But can they take advantage inside the 20?
And so far, we have seen the penalty bug really bite inside the red zone for both teams. 1st down and 15 now. Ellison going to give it off to Gamble. Just does. There's a big hole inside the 15. He's met at the 12 and stopped there, but 7, maybe 8 yards on that big carry for Michael Gamble.
It took everything they had for Ellison to even get the football to his running back. The bad snap, had to reach behind and gives it off. Actually, it might have been TJ Harris, the big fullback, gets a rare carry. What they do with Fordyce is really impressive with Micah Gamble. Of course, you do this with all big-time players. They move him around the football field a bunch. They line him up in the slot. They'll put him in the backfield, make the defense try to lose a count of number 1.
And we still have yet to see Michael Gamble back on the field, so it's still going to be TJ Harris, the junior, back there with Ellison. 2nd down, Ellison going to throw, lobs it for Harris, got the catch inside the 10, inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line, should be enough for a 1st down, and Fordyce knocking on the door.
Just a simple clear-out route there, JB. You run your 2 receivers off, the defense goes with them, you sneak your running back in the flat behind them, he makes a couple defenders miss. 1st and goal for the Redbugs.
3-yard line. Gamble's back in the ball game. That's a great thing to see for Fordyce. And now they're going to go under center with Andrew Ellison.
Almost a wing T look.
Give it off to the fullback up the middle. Not much there. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Mansfield sees this every day in practice, so those big guys up front aren't worried about fullback dive. Did a great job of shutting that down before it got going.
No kidding. That middle is where they were trying to go. 2nd down and goal from the 3. You got 3 more tries if you're Fordyce. Mansfield's defense trying to bow up big. Tigers are 0 for 2 inside the red zone. Fordyce is 0 for 1. They're trying to make it 1 for 2. I formation. Ellison. Uh-oh. Might be a false start. 5 yards, moving back.
Slot back move to too early.
Dead ball. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Well, for Fordyce, and Coach Rogers over there, he's got to be frustrated. Both teams really have shot themselves in the foot, but Coach Rogers got to be pretty frustrated on that.
Yeah, that's just a mental error. You're trying to get off the snap as fast as you can to try to get leverage against the defense, but you move too early. And again, penalties pushing them back. Red zone mistakes have been the name of the game here in the first half for both sides.
You feel like maybe both teams a little too amped up inside the red zone?
Well, and yards are so hard to come by down here in the 20, what we've seen so far. You're looking for any advantage you can get. You've got another pre-snap flag.
Another flag. We'll see what this one's about. They go to gamble, nothing doing. If it stands, it'll be 3rd down and long, but let's see what this penalty's about.
I think it's going to be a legal shift there on Fordyce. Didn't get set.
2-minute motion. Offense. That penalty's decline. It'll be 4th down. 3rd down.
Not a bad call there for Mansfield. You know, back them up. If you back them up, it opens up more space in the passing game. So you keep them down here low in the red zone, inside the 10, 3rd and 7 now, or for 3rd and goal from the 7. I like the idea of declining that penalty.
Yeah, downs are more important for Mansfield, not the yardage as much. You don't want Fordyce to get more chances.
Well, and more importantly, you don't give them that extra space. The 5 yards in the red zone opens up things in the passing game.
And they've not been able to run the ball well. That's something you've been able to stop, force them to try to do that. Ellison's going to throw this time, though. Pocket collapse. Going to have to dump it at the 5. It's caught. No more yardage to come by, though. Jamartez Stroud had nowhere to go, and it's 4th down and goal.
I think they're going to rule that the ball came out, and that's why they're marking it all the way back at the 9-yard line.
Oh, boy.
Is because the pile was moving back. The catch was really closer to the 6, but the ball came out, went out of bounds, and so if it goes out of bounds at the 9, that might be why this ball is being placed there.
So if it's a fumble, out of bounds at the 9, we'll see what they rule it.
Ruling on the field was a fumble. Red has recovered it and out of bounds. So, red ball.
Wow. Mansfield football at the 9. They force a turnover. You got to be kidding me.
What a break for Mansfield. Let's take a look at it here. The ball looked like it went out of bounds, so the ball's definitely out. Oh, he's down right there. They're saying that Andrew Burton took it away and then went to the ground, which would cause him to be down. Then he fumbles out of bounds after the play. Of course, the official's right there on top. This is going to be a very interesting review.
Wow. I can't say I saw that coming. I thought it was out of bounds off Fordyce, fumble at the 9. They're going to give it to Mansfield, and they're going to review it. But, man, if the call on the field is Mansfield football, you got to have enough to overturn that, right?
Yeah, so what they're going to have to look for in the review is did Burton have complete control when he went to the ground? He clearly takes the football away from him.
Yep.
And so that's going to be a fumble for sure on Fordyce, but did Burton, 0 for Mansfield, have control before he hit the ground? The officials deemed that he did, and it's going to be really hard to overturn because the play on the field was ruled Mansfield football.
Yeah, that's right. So as it stands, it'll be Mansfield football. They force a huge turnover in the red zone. That would put both teams 0 for 2 inside the red zone. Wow. 4th down. If it goes Fordyce's way, it'll still be 4th down and goal at the 9. But if the call stands, it'll be Mansfield football and a huge turnover.
And this may be, JB, just what was called on the field, because they're clear and indisputable evidence. That one word that nobody had ever heard of 15 years ago, indisputable. Looking for that evidence.
Now everybody knows what that word means. And let's be real, it doesn't mean that one call or the other is right or wrong. It's just you got to have enough to overturn it. Here we go.
That's a great look at it.
The play's overturned. It is 4th down. Fordyce on the 10-yard line.
I think that's a really good job by the review crew to recognize that Burton never truly had full possession of the football. Did take it away, but never secured it before he hit the ground and lost the ball out of bounds.
So in theory, then, it was just a fumble all the way because he never got full possession of it. So 4th down and goal now at the 10. Still not terrible if you're Mansfield, knowing you just got one more down to stop. And if you're Fordyce, you're going to be kicking yourself if you're not able to get 6.
But again, a great job by the replay crew and our officiating crew to make sure they get it right.
No doubt. That was a great play by Andrew Burton, by the way. No matter how you slice it. 4th down and goal from the 10. Fordyce trying to capitalize. Mansfield trying for the stop. Ellison going to throw. Back foot. Back of the end zone. Incomplete. And Mansfield's defense holds both teams 0 for 2 in the red zone.
Well, pass rush got to the quarterback. Ellison was falling backwards. Did not have his feet set. And that one kind of sailed on him. could not hit his receiver. It looked like it was 61. Katie and Orr gets to the backfield, forces the quarterback to hurry, and it's another big red zone stop.
We haven't seen necessarily the live ball turnovers, but it's been the turnover on downs that have come into play. And I got to say, Bobby, the penalties in the red zone have really killed both teams today.
If you want to get real cliche with it, JB, every yard matters. If this was a 90-yard field, we'd have a lot of points on the board right now. No doubt.
That's a great point. But as it stands, 1st and 10, Mansfield at their own 10 with 3:45 to play in the half. Still without a score. Pitch play. Andrew Burton cuts upfield, got a hole, across the 15 to 20, trying to bust one. One man to beat across midfield. Nobody's going to get him. Andrew Burton, party time. The big 90-yard TD.
How about a house call from the fullback going the distance? He says this doesn't matter if it's a 150-yard field. He broke that initial wave, runs through an arm tackle, and that's what Mansfield fans have seen all season long. Andrew Burton, impossible to bring down. He's in the end zone.
You see the strength breaking the tackle or two, the vision to cut it upfield, and then the turbo turned on. The speed of Andrew Burton. Nobody gonna get zero. 90-yard touchdown run. The big plays is what it comes down to. And Andrew Burton, that was a big play.
Fullbacks aren't supposed to run 4.6, JB. That's just not fair. Burton shows off some speed. Neither one of these teams going to kick extra points, though, so we're going to go for 2. And what a swing of momentum. You think you get the fumble. Again, Fordyce gets another shot at a red zone possession. You turn it over on downs, one play, house call.
6-0, but these two-point conversions are big too. Pitch play left side, Jeremiah Burton. The two-point conversion is good. 8-0 Mansfield. What a swing.
What a swing. How do you handle that adversity now if you're Fordyce? You think you're about to put it in the end zone and take the lead here in the 3A championship game, and 2 plays, incomplete pass, 90 yards to the house, and all of a sudden you're down 8-0. Do they have a response in the final 3.5 here in this first half?
You see Andrew Burton, a 90-yard touchdown run, and then the 2-point conversion for Jeremiah Burton. Tyler, tell us a little bit more about Andrew Burton.
Hey guys, like you said, you're going to set a record for most number of times in the set a lot of Mansfield records this year. Most of them that he broke were also previously held by a Burton. He's going to stay in the family business. He said when he's done playing high school football, he's going to join up with his father's construction company. So on the football field, off the football field, it's all about family for the Burtons.
No doubt. He constructs a lot of points too every single season. That's number 38 touchdown runs of the year.
He is the sledgehammer in this offense, and I guess moving forward he's going to be handling the sledgehammer.
Oh, no kidding. Wow, and I mean, I think you can't state how big that 4th down stop was. And then the response, that big play, Burton busts it.
Well, you see so many teams, in Harding University at the Division II level here in the state is a prime example of it. The Flexbone's Novocaine. Just give it some time. Yep. It's finally going to take effect, and that time it did.
Sky kick from Jeffney Smithson. Fair catch called for at the 36-yard line. So that's where, or 34, excuse me, that's where Fordyce will have it. And that story on Jeffney Smithson, you know, he's from out of the country. He said the one thing he wanted to do is play American football, and he's living out his dream.
It's very cool to get a chance to play in a state championship game like this as well. But Fordyce made the adjustments after the miscue on the opening kickoff. They didn't call for the fair catch on the sky kick. That time coached up well by Coach Rogers and company. Make sure they made that fair catch signal. Now to get their offense, the football back. Again, 3:31 left here in the first half. You got to feel like this is a big possession for Fordyce because Mansfield gets the football to start the second half.
That's exactly what was going through my mind. The response from Fordyce has got to be there. Ellison going to throw, looking deep, right sideline, got a man. Underthrown just a little bit, lots of contact, but the refs let him play.
Really good job by Joe Carter to not break too much. It looked like an out and up. Was beaten by a step or two, but the closing speed for Carter got there, timed it just right. Pretty good play by the defensive back. No call needed.
That is great awareness to know when to go up.
Watch those receivers' hands. As soon as they go up, you go up with it.
We've seen a lot of different penalties today, but they've let those go, and I think that's the right call.
Fordyce content with just throwing the football.
2nd and 10, Ellison in the flat, dumps it to Micah Gamble. Across the 35, lunges and lowers his shoulder to the 40. A 5-yard pitch and catch, and it's 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, that's just an extension of the run game, though. Get Gamble out there in space, hoping he can break a tackle, but Mansfield did a nice job of rallying to the football, but get about a half of that yardage needed. third and manageable as we're inching towards the 3-minute mark.
Well, you know both teams have the capabilities to bust one. We saw Andrew Burton do it. That's been the name of the game, right? Don't give up the big play. Fordyce and Mansfield up to this point had getting a few big plays, but they'd stopped them in the red zone. That time they couldn't get Burton. Fordyce needs something similar to try to tie things up. They're going to give it off Gamble from the gun. Hot pursuit, trying to bounce it outside the 40. Flag comes in. He's got the first down. Another flag comes in. Could be costly. We'll see what it's all about. We'll let him sort it. We've seen the yellow flags fly a good bit.
Yep, Jeremiah Burton was trying to battle through a block, and I believe he drew a hold.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty.
You know what Mansfield's doing on the outside, they're doing a good job of fighting through blocks, but they're also doing a pretty good job of some theatrics. They're throwing their arms up in the air when they feel like they're not going to get there. That's an obvious hold on the outside. Got to call that every time, especially at the point of contact. But Mansfield's been coached up. Hey, you're getting held on the outside. Throw your hands up, do a little acting job, get the attention of the officials.
I think what you're seeing, too, is how the battle in the trenches, right? Maybe it's getting stops or not, but it's also getting those flags, the false starts, the holding calls. Got to clean both of those up on both sides. Ellison going to throw right side. Looking for the comeback route. Man falls down. It throws harmlessly to the sideline, but now it's 4th down and long, and you got a punt.
Yeah, luckily that one went out of bounds, but the receiver slips at the top of the route. They were looking for about the 15-yard comeback. Jones lost his footing there. Luckily that wasn't picked off going the other way. The throw too far out of bounds, but you just mentioned it. Mansfield's about to get the football back. They've got all the momentum. Chance to put some points on the board here before the half. Coming out of the half, they get the football. Big stop for the Mansfield Tiger defense.
You got Silas Burton and Isaac Carson back deep to receive this kick. And Fordyce, it's Chase Humphrey, the junior, will handle the punting duties. High snap, able to punt it away. A tight spiral, low line drive, bounces at the 48, takes a red bug bounce to the 37-yard line, and that's where Mansfield will set up shop. So a nice punt for Fordyce, pushes Mansfield back, but they got 2:19 to try to go 63 yards.
The sports is a funny thing, JB. You feel like you've got all the momentum. Your Fordyce got the ball first and goal inside the 5. Penalty backs you up, and then all the momentum pushes you the other way. You give up a 90-yard touchdown. Now a quick 3 and out. Mansfield's got a chance to take complete control of this football game.
There's a look at Coach Whit Overton. He's got to be pleased with how quick this game has shifted. You got to make sure you protect the football if you're Mansfield in this situation. And for Fordyce, your defense has got to respond, right? You gave up that big play, but you can't give up another one. Under center out of the eye. Parks pitches it to Andrew Burton. Got room outside the tackle, the 40. Across midfield, they'll bounce him out of bounds, but that's a big gain on first down. It moves the chains, and they're into red bug territory.
Mansfield's seeing the same thing I saw when I went back and watched that game against Boonville last week from the Fordyce defense. There were some running lanes on the outside. The option, the toss, gave the Fordyce defense some trouble against Boonville. Mansfield's got some more speed. The playing surface a lot cleaner, not playing through the mud like they did last week. The Tigers are taking advantage of it.
Trying to ride this wave a little bit, too. They got the momentum. Under center, Parks. They'll move Silas Burton in motion. Play action, looking to throw. Going to right sideline. Locked up defensively. Dangerous pass, but it's caught! It's caught! To the 10! Touchdown, Mansfield! Joe Carter took it away from the defender, and it's a 2-touchdown lead.
I thought Joe Carter was going to have to go play defensive back. That throw thrown into coverage. It was really a 50-50 ball. Thought it was going to be easily picked off, but where's Randy Moss when you need him? Went up high pointed the football, and Carter makes a heck of a play on top of the defender and waltzes into the end zone, and Mansfield's got a 14-0 lead.
Well, I think the impressive part was the catch, but then the YAC, the spin move to get away from the defender. A touchdown for Joe Carter, the senior, playing like a veteran.
Whew. What a sequence of events for Mansfield. Defense turns into offense, and momentum is rolling straight downhill for those guys in red.
You got a 90-yard touchdown run and then a 48-yard bomb. They're going to go for the 2-point conversion again. Bounce it on the pitch play to Silas Burton. He's in, stood up at the pylon. But it's 16-0 Mansfield, and my goodness, 5 minutes ago we were scoreless.
What a swing of events, though, the 2-point conversion. Mansfield's been so successful adding the points after the score. Been able to put up 16 points in the last, 2 minutes or so of play. Big swing. Fordyce has got to land a big blow before the half, you feel like.
Well, we talked about the trivia question we had earlier, right? The rushing yards that Mansfield has this season, but who holds the most in any single season for any team? And it was one you mentioned back in 2022, Boonville, just 44 yards shy of 6,000 yards. That's incredible.
I believe that was the Boonville team that won a state championship as well, led by Dax Golf, who's playing for Harding now.
Yeah.
Power running football team. You know, Mansfield throws it a little bit more, and we just saw it there with the long touchdown pass than Boonville normally does. But the flex zone, when you get it working and you've got talented running backs like a Dax Golf or a Burton, it's hard to stop.
No doubt. And then you got playmakers like Carter. When you do go to the air to make a play like that, Smithson with the sky kick. It'll be taken. No fair catch called for. A flag will come in, or maybe there was a fair catch.
Didn't see it. That might have been kick catch interference, though.
Yeah.
Didn't give him the 1 yard radius to catch the football. Either way, I'm surprised Fordyce didn't try to call for a fair catch there. Again, almost another disaster on special teams.
We'll let the referee and crew done a great job today. Sort things out. As it stands, it's Fordyce ball at their own 42, but here's the call.
There's no flag on the play.
Again, Mansfield almost created another turnover for themselves. Just got there a hair too late. Fordyce, though, with 2 timeouts, JB, feel like they've got to make a push down the field, maybe get some points before the half.
It's not imperative, but man, you'd like to have it, right? The way this game is going, Mansfield's going to get the football in the second half, as you mentioned. You got to get something. You just really need some momentum, something to build upon, and points would be nice. Ellison goes to the right sideline, just underthrew, didn't kind of get a good grip on that, wanted to go to the out route, but too short in front of the intended receiver, and it's 2nd and 10.
Also had pressure right in his face as well. And Mansfield's defensive line going to be able to pin their ears back because they've really made Fordyce a one-dimensional football team. They're not even trying to run the football. They're just lining up in 5 wide, say, hey, we're going to throw it. And those big guys up front wearing red are feasting.
Completely shifted their game plan. You're exactly right. They've abandoned the run, trying to go big ball. Ellison got all kinds of time. To dangerous pass, in and out of the hands at the 43-yard line. Logan Orr wants another crack at that interception.
He was thinking return for a touchdown on that one. There was nobody in front of Orr, but he's also showing why he's wearing a 50 number. Those guys generally don't have the best hands.
Hit him right in the breadbasket.
Worst place to hit you, right in the hands.
That's one where you can't really excuse your way against coach, right?
You got to believe Fordyce is flustered right now, though. They're throwing the football every time they drop back. Mansfield's got it honed in. Redbugs need something to go their way.
3rd down and 10 at their own 42. Ellison, the snap. He's got time. Lobs it right side. Got a man. It's complete. What a catch from Micah Gamble over his shoulder. It was placed perfectly, and Gamble with a 1st down catch.
What an adjustment on the football. That ball's hanging up. Not a lot of winds here at War Memorial Stadium. That ball just kind of floats out there, does a great job of adjusting on it. Looks like a center fielder tracking a ball near the warning track. Hauls it in, gets a couple feet down, but a huge 1st down for the Redbugs.
And those are tough passes to get super accurately, so Ellison did a nice job of lobbing it up there, giving your receiver a chance to float underneath the football and make a catch, because good receivers will do that. We saw Gamble make the play. Rolling right to the left side. Off his back foot, it's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Cooper Edwards. Mansfield's got it into Fordyce territory. A flag comes in late, but a big turnover for the Tigers.
Ellison has shown off that strong arm again and deep out, trying to find his receiver, but just couldn't be handled, deflected, and what a great play by Cooper Edwards. The wherewithal to recognize the ball's tipped, go get it, and make a play after the catch.
After the interception, personal foul, 61, late hit, 1st down, Mansfield.
So the penalty is after the play. The interception will stand. Here's a look at that pass play. Nice one-handed grab to pick that ball off. That was just off the fingertips of Chase Humphrey for Fordyce, but a big turnover.
The ball just too high, overshoots his target just a little too much, and Mansfield makes the play in the right place at the right time. The penalty does back it up 15 yards, which essentially just wipes off the return after the catch. But again, the Tigers now have a chance to be the one that scores points going into the break.
They're up 16-0 with 1:36. Toss play, Andrew Burton trying to get to the edge. And he's not going to. Nice open field tackle by Micah Gamble.
They found something. They're trying to get to the edge, but Gamble that time wasn't going to allow it. He's able to shed his blocker and make the play at the line of scrimmage. But if Gamble doesn't make that play, it's another big play on the ground on the edge. Mansfield certainly found a chink in the armor.
Yeah, no doubt. He hemmed him in, right? Tried to push him back to the outside. He did not want him to get around him. If he gets past Gamble, as you mentioned, Burton's running for a while.
I think Mansfield, more importantly than points before the half, is making sure that Fordyce doesn't touch the football in the final 60 seconds. They know a hurry.
Methodical for sure. Play action. Oh boy, dangerous option left side. Silas Burton has nowhere to go, but that is a dangerous pitch.
Fordyce going to take a timeout as well. That was really dangerous. I'm surprised that Jubal Parks decided to pitch it out there. I know that's the design of the play.
Timeout.
But risky.
Fordyce.
And that's the one thing for Mansfield in these types of games, right? Time's winding down in the first half. Don't give the opponent any opportunity to bounce right back into the game. So here's a timeout for Fordyce, and I think this is not a desperation timeout, but they want the football back. They want to get us. They feel like they need to get points here at the half.
Because they know if their offense is out there for a one play, they've got the ability to pop a big one.
No doubt.
Whether it's Micah Gamble or Jamartis Stroud or even Jones, receiver on the other end, they've got playmakers. And they've been on the edge of breaking a big one a couple times already. 172 yards or so of offense in the first half for Fordyce. They just haven't been able to take advantage in the red zone. Now, Mansfield, they're starting to check up some yards. They're inching towards 300 yards of offense in this first half. They've moved the football. Fordyce got some red zone stops early, but they've got a chance in this final 47 seconds, thinking they can convert this third down to blow this game open.
No doubt. 16-0. Mansfield certainly wanting to do that. 3rd and 11. This is a big play for Fordyce, too. They need to stop. If Mansfield gets a first down and marches down and puts it up 3 scores, you got to imagine that's desperation time for Fordyce.
Yeah, if you're Mansfield here, you probably run the football, maybe go back to that toss sweep. But the most important thing is you make Fordyce use another timeout.
Sure.
And then you send the punt team out there, hope your defense can hold for the final 30 seconds or so.
I formation for Mansfield. It's Jubal Parks, 3rd down and 11.
Maybe that counter play we saw in the first quarter as well.
Gonna toss it to Burton. Slips one tackle. Looking for the first down at the midfield line. Looks like he's got it. What a run for Andrew Burton again.
That time they go short sweep. You see LSU kind of made that popular. They toss it, and you let your running back find a hole a little closer. You don't bounce it all the way to the outside. Take advantage of an overflowing defense. Now Mansfield with a fresh set of downs at midfield. They take a shot.
Clock's rolling, 36 seconds to go. They're not in a lot or a big hurry at all.
Do have a couple timeouts left.
Under 30. Parks under center. Takes the handoff. Going to go to the air. Overthrows his intended receiver, and it's intercepted. Fordyce picks it off back at the 9-yard line. Xavier Jones. There's going to be 16 seconds to play, but Jones, he's a receiver too, and the D-back picks it off.
Parks got lucky on the touchdown pass that he wasn't picked off there. That time he was picked off, but Joe Carter made a great play from going receiver to defensive back, makes the stop, because if he doesn't, Jones has a lot of space to return this. So going receiver to D-back in a hurry saved a lot of field position, if not points.
It's the small things like that, right? That you're not going to go back and think, but if Carter doesn't do that, immediately grab and bring him down, there's a chance that's brought back for 90 yards or at least a big gain.
Mansfield.
I like the idea, but sometimes you got to throw it to the outside where your receiver has a chance to go ahead and don't throw it back to the middle of the field where the secondary's got help.
Yeah, a safety coming over there, and you're essentially going 2-on-1 versus 1v1. And that's what we saw Carter win a moment ago, right? The 50-50 ball, underthrown. Doesn't stand much of a chance when it's 2 versus 1.
Yeah, but what you do like, though, is the faith in your players to go make a play. The 50-50 ball, you feel like your receiver is going to have a chance to go make a play, if not at least limit the damage by making a play in the back end.
16-0 Mansfield. They're talking it over. They're trying to make sure they don't give up the big play, and Fordyce trying to dial something up.
Tyler's going to have Coach Will Overton going into the locker room as well coming up, so don't go anywhere. Also coming up on the half, we've got one of the greatest pranks of all time coming up, as we've got the story of a wide receiver factory in Warren, the 2025 Student All-Stars, and a prank that's still legendary to this day. It's the Arkansas PBS halftime show. That's coming up after the break.
That wide receiver factory. It's some Traylon Burks, Jarius Wright, Greg Childs, Chris Gregg. I'm missing a few, I'm sure, but they produced them.
Well, there's one who's at the U of A right now. Got hurt this year, didn't get to play a lot for the Hogs, but he's expected to be the next big thing.
So out of the timeout, 16-0. We'll see what Fordyce elects to do.
They're taking a knee.
And that's exactly what it is. They want to make sure nothing more can happen. The final play of the first half, Fordyce takes a knee. It's 16-0 Mansfield, and it's the two big plays. That's the difference.
It really is. I mean, you think about the red zone stop for Mansfield. They get the football back for their offense, and then they go big play. 90-yard touchdown run from Burton, then the 52-yard pass on the outside. Momentum has swung in a hurry, and Mansfield going into the locker room feeling pretty good about chasing down state championship #1.
Overton right now.
Yeah, Coach, the last 10 minutes or so of that half really felt like they changed things. I mean, was that just adjustments or guys loosening it up?
Yeah, just filling these guys out. You know, we haven't played these guys, and we're just trying to, trade punches right there, figure out what they're going to do defensively, how they're going to play us, and made a couple adjustments there, and it's always good when you give zero the ball.
You got the big plays, the red zone offense. What has to change in the second half?
We just got to execute better. We can't have penalties. We get down there 2 different times and get holding penalties, knock ourselves out of what we want to be in. We need to be in second and medium, third and short, fourth and short, and we didn't do that in the first half, especially the first quarter.
Getting the ball coming out, what are you telling the guys in the locker room?
Same thing we always tell them, next play mentality, take care of the football, don't commit penalties.
All right, I'll let you go tell them that yourselves.
Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
Coach. All right, back up to you guys.
Well, he's got to be pleased nonetheless with his team. The big play, 16-0. Mansfield the lead over Fordyce. Redbugs, we'll talk to Coach Rogers coming out right before the second half begins. Redbugs got work to do, but it's Tigers over Fordyce, 16-0. Stick around for a halftime show in Little Rock.
This broadcast is underwritten in part by...
Since 1937, the electric cooperatives of Arkansas have been providing power to homes, farms, and businesses across our state. The cooperatives are member-owned and work together to serve Arkansans. The electric cooperatives of Arkansas proudly support high school students and athletics in Arkansas and hope you enjoy watching the state championship games on Arkansas PBS Sports. Better connected together. The electric cooperatives of Arkansas.
Hey everybody, David Basil here. It's halftime at War Memorial, and that means we are back here at Arkansas PBS Studios to share with you a little bit of what we've been working on. In a few minutes, Christina Munoz will introduce you to some All-Stars, both on the field and in the classroom. And we're going to introduce you to a high school football team that is literally beyond belief. But first, deep in the heart of South Arkansas, the town of Warren has been cultivating a culture of elite wide receivers. Here's their story.
Warren is a small town. It's known for its tomatoes and wide receivers.
Sawmill town, good salt of the earth people.
Grew up with 4,000 people. I graduated with only 99. People love you there. The people love football there.
And when Friday night is packed, you're like, there's no way that many people's coming to a high school football game in this small community, and they do. They turn out.
You got a big community that's on, they on your side, and I just want to win. That's all I want to do, is win.
Warren had always been a football town, but Coach Emery has taken it to the next levels.
Started in 2000, so this makes my 26 years as a head football coach.
Bo coming in, taking the job over as a young coach, and just switching from a power out to more of a spread offense.
Shotgun with one back and then 4 receivers, and then translated into no backs, people running 5 wide, and nobody else was doing it. I mean, honestly, we were the only team in our conference doing it.
I don't think a lot of people really believed in it early, but as you see with the, the back-to-back state championships, the system started to work and kids started to get recruited.
It started with Brett Smith and Roshan Fellows and Terrence Hampton in 2001, and it kind of grew.
College coaches all over the country can tell you Warren, Arkansas is one of those places we're going to look at.
the thing that kind of prepares you coming from Warren is Bo teaches you football.
You know, our guys start in the 7th grade, and we learn how to catch a football, why to catch a football, where to catch a football, because a lot of little things go into running great routes and to getting open, not just being fast or athletic.
He taught me everything I know. He helped me become like a better player on the field, off the field, building my IQ.
Our kids play both sides of football. In the higher classifications, they only play on one side. When they get to college, if it don't work out, then they're pretty much in trouble. Whereas our guys, they played everywhere. Like, you look at Traylon Burks. He was our, 4th NFL pick since I've been here, which is crazy. But our first-round draft choice. He played linebacker, he played safety, he punted, he returned punts, he returned kicks, he played quarterback, he played wideout. Antonio Jordan, same thing. Jarius Wright. You go back and you look at the list, Montre McKnight, A.J. Avery, Ricardo Kemp, Chris Gragg, Greg Childs, Darvion Brown, and Jalen Marshall, who played at Arkansas State. So you're not getting a wide receiver, you're getting a football player.
Growing up, I seen a lot of guys like Antonio Jordan, Traylon Burks, just keep pushing themselves, and, it just makes me want to strive for more.
You know, when Brett and Roshan, and they were at Tennessee, they would come back in the summer, work out with our guys. When you had Jarius and Greg and Chris, they would come back, work out with our guys.
I remind them that I sat in the same chairs in the same elementary schools that they did, the same junior highs, the same high school, the same locker rooms. Man, like I literally helped build those locker rooms. We had to sand the walls and stuff when we first got that indoors.
Knowing that you got those people that done came through here, knowing you coming through the same organization, feels good, feel like you on the right road.
You know, it's tough to make it out of South Arkansas. I'm good at football. That's what I'm good at. That's what I know how to do. This is my ticket to get out of Warren. And that's one thing that I use. And it means more to us down there. It just means more.
Football has been the ticket to a much better life for a lot of kids in those football towns of rural Arkansas.
Warren is going to continue to produce great talent, and I truly believe that the sky's the limit for that football program down there.
Being a wide receiver coming out of Warren, it's a lot of hype about it, and I love just playing under the pressure.
They live for football. It's just part of the culture. It's who they are. It's what they do.
And we had a dessert auction now where people made desserts, and we raised over $12,000. And people were buying pecan pies for $500. And it wasn't because of the pecan pie, it was because they want to support the Warren Lumberjacks.
Man, every Friday, the town shuts down just to come watch, Lumberjack football.
Shoot, you would think this town is pretty big. Everybody comes out to show out support.
Part of the very culture, not just the sport, but part of the fabric that holds that whole town together.
Football puts Warren on the map, and to see all the fans, filling up the bleachers and standing around the fence and things like that, because we helped make football important to that town, it's kind of a feeling you really can't replace.
From tomato crops to first-round draft picks, Warren keeps proving that small towns can raise big dreams. Now let's kick it over to Christina for a look at the 2025 Arkansas PBS Student All-Stars. Christina?
Thanks, Baz. Every year we scour the state to find athletes who not only excel on the field, but more importantly in the classroom. Here is your 2025 Arkansas PBS Student All-Stars. We kick it off with the 8-man Arkansas PBS Student All-Star that is Cash Martin, a linebacker and running back for the Cedar Ridge Timberwolves. Cash has a 4.0 GPA and plans to go to college and get an engineering degree. Next up in the 2A classification, we have Peyton Willoughby, a senior with the Indians of Mark Tree. Peyton has a 4.11 GPA and is planning on attending college for the Air Force ROTC. Moving on to the 3A classification, here is Micah Gamble with the Fordyce Redbugs. With a 3.7 GPA, Micah wants to play football at the collegiate level and major in criminal justice. Braden Simpson with the Southside Charter Southerners is our 4A Arkansas PBS Student All-Star. Braden has a 4.0 GPA and plans to attend Harding University to play football and major in civil engineering. The 5A classification is well represented by Wally Wolcott. the quarterback for the Lakeside Rams. Wally has a 3.5 GPA and wants to play football at the collegiate level and become a coach. The Benton Panthers' Garrett Pilkington is the Arkansas PBS Student All-Star from the 6A classification. Garrett has a 4.06 GPA and is planning on attending UALR and going to pharmacy school. And finally, our 7A Student All-Star is Trey Thompson, the quarterback for the Bentonville West Wolverines. Trey has a 4.0 GPA and wants to major in marketing in college. Congratulations to all and way to go. You know, we may see some of these faces again in April here on Arkansas PBS for Quiz Bowl. Now, if you haven't seen Quiz Bowl, you'll want to make a note to watch this year. Some of the smartest high school students in the state meet up right here in this studio and square off, not only for bragging rights, but for some pretty big checks, too. And it is all live right here on Arkansas PBS. Now, let's throw it back to Baz for a look at a little bit of trickery in Arkansas football history. Baz?
Thanks, Christina. What do you get when you mix two merry jokesters and a fake football team? One of the greatest pranks in Arkansas history. Check out the story of the Village Academy Beavers.
The very first game was September 7th. Actually, that was the date that the article was published, so it would have been September 6th. We played Rayville, Louisiana, and Jess Norman gained 94 yards on 11 carries.
Jess Norman is one of the star athletes of all time here in Arkansas. He was an outstanding running back, quarterback, whatever, any position for the Village Academy Beavers back in the mid-'80s.
He was indescribable. His capabilities were limitless.
A lot of muscular definition, could jump, run.
He was fast, he was very intelligent.
I mean, he could outsmart the defense. Wherever Village Academy appeared, Jess Norman was going to be there.
Just so happened he didn't exist.
That's true, he did not exist. It was all made up. Bob Sybils is band director. I was the girls' basketball coach at Jessieville High School.
Gary and I called the scores in for Jessieville every Friday night.
And we were talking about the fact that when we would call in the scores, Arkansas Democrat and Gazette, at that time we're having a newspaper war.
They were trying to get every score in the state within an hour.
I mean, we'd call in a score and we'd say Jessieville, and they'd say, "Who are y'all, Jacksonville?" And we'd say, "No, we're Jessieville."
And you're the Eagles. No, we played the Eagles, we're the Lions. And Gary got so frustrated that they could not keep straight where we were, who we were. He said, "I don't even know if they know if our school exists or not."
And the conversation began that we could probably just call in a make-believe score, because the people taking the scores really had no idea about some of the small schools in the state.
That hit a ding with me, and I said, well, let's test it out.
Bob Sybils made that first call. He went across the street from Jessieville School, went to First Baptist Church to the pastor's office to make the first hoax call here.
I got the Village Academy football scores, and the guy that I got knew a little enough to say, "Village has a football team?"
Wait a minute, he says, "I've never heard of y'all before." He says, "Is this your first year for football?" And Bob said, "Yes, this is." And he said,
"Who's your best player?" And I said, "Jess Norman." We'd thought of that.
Our principal at Jessieville High School, his name was Norman Jesperson.
It'll be a kind of a play on words on his name, but nobody will know who that is.
So we turned his name around and called it Jess Norman.
And he said, "What's your mascot?"
Well, we hadn't even talked about a mascot. So Bob quickly came up with Beavers.
But he asked me so many questions that I knew it was going to be in there. The next morning, there it was.
And I don't know if we would have ever gotten going. I don't know if I would have ever made a call. But when he made the first call and it got started, hey, it was on. As we progressed with this and started calling in scores each week, I would make some calls, Bob would make some calls.
Had them play out-of-state schools. We were smart enough to realize we couldn't play other schools here in Arkansas. There'd be 2 scores in there.
We knew that we could not win every game, okay? We did not want to create too much attention to ourselves.
We weren't going to let Jess Norman run for 400 yards. Anything that would attract attention where they were going to say, wait a minute, that doesn't seem possible, and start looking. So those were just general guidelines on what we had to do to keep from being caught.
coaches and band directors and friends around the state that couldn't wait to get a paper, you know, on Saturday morning to see how Village Academy did the night before.
Once they caught on, hey, this is real, we got a lot of people saying, I just want to kick a field goal or an extra point.
We had a lot of fans that were getting into this. We had bumper stickers printed. One of the faculty members wrote a fight song. We had an alma mater. We were really getting into this big time. A lot of Village Academy fans. Village Academy Nation was big. The elementary school principal was the only one at Jessville that didn't think it was funny. And he said, y'all need to stop that. If something bad were to come of it, I can't stand up for you. And we said, we totally understand that. And we kept doing it. We thought, okay, we'll call it, get it in there one time, and, you know, that'll be it, and we'll laugh about it, and they'll figure it out. There's, you know, and they won't put it back in there. Well, they didn't ever figure it out. We kept doing it for 4 years.
And there's the article of when we were actually caught by a reporter named Robert Yates.
One of our administrators sent in a note to the Arkansas Gazette and said,
you have a group of people in the state calling in fictitious football scores. He misspelled fictitious, by the way. He said they call their school Village Academy. There's no such school by that name. So Robert Yates took that letter and started investigating. He eventually figured out, no, this is not real.
We had a great program for 4 years until we got shut down.
I said, you tell it the Village Academy coach said hi. He said, are you the one? I said, man, I've been wanting to try out for that team.
Once we got caught and we said, okay, we've been exposed, we'll have a celebration banquet at Rod's Pizza Cellar in Hot Springs.
And we had well over 100 people for us to tell the story of the Village Academy Beavers, talking about a make-believe football team that did not exist. Village Academy or Just Norman will appear, just pop up places you never expect. I mean, you know, just out of the wild blue.
I am amazed that it still pops up every once in a while. You know, this many years later, that was 1985 that we started it and quit in 88.
I think the fact that it went so long for 4 years had a lot to do. You know, if it was only a couple of times, nobody'd be saying anything about it.
So I think that's what keeps it going, is just how much fun it was back then and how many people enjoyed following it and being a part of it.
I don't know if it'll ever die. It'll go on forever.
From a joke to a statewide following, Jess Norman and the Village Academy Beavers continue to spring up across Arkansas, breathing new life into the prank more than 40 years later. Now, Christina, it's about that time.
Yes, it is. Let's get you back to War Memorial Stadium for the second half of the High School State Football Championship.
Right here on Arkansas PBS.
This broadcast is underwritten in part by...
Since 1937, the electric cooperatives of Arkansas have been providing power to homes, farms, and businesses across our state. The cooperatives are member-owned and work together to serve Arkansans. The electric cooperatives of Arkansas proudly support high school students and athletics in Arkansas and hope you enjoy watching the state championship games on Arkansas PBS Sports. Better connected together. The electric cooperatives of Arkansas.
One fly for the right wing. Got it. There's a dunk inside. Is the icing on the cake for Ladarius.
Here's a big play by Roberts. He'll go down the left side. One man to beat. He'll walk in the end zone for a touchdown. Right ahead. Here's a running lane at the 5. He'll walk in. Touchdown.
There we go, Johnny Diaz. 5A baseball championship. Hard hit once again down the left field line. Will double and score 4-0 Valleyfield.
The wall. It's gone. 3-run homer.
You have to. This is the time to dig in and get the job done.
Kenzie Freeman with the big swing from the right side. She puts down another kill. And all that hard work finally paid off. Myers, she tries to go cross court. Nobody home right in the middle.
Don't go anywhere because we've got a lot in store for you.
Here's the Arkansas PBS Student All-Stars Class of 2024.
The unified team is Special Olympic partners and peer partners. Friends, it's just incredible to watch how they have been impacted by this experience.
Hugo Bezdek's biggest contribution was the adoption of the Razorbacks and a whole sense of pride for this state and for this university.
What a game it was.
It's an exclamation point for an all-time Arkansas team.
UAMS is a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports. UAMS Health provides orthopedic and sports medicine care across Arkansas, supporting athletes and teams throughout the state. Find out more at UAMShealth.com. Winrock Automotive supports Arkansas athletes as a sponsor of the Arkansas PBS Sports broadcast of the high school state championship games, with 7 dealerships across the state serving Little Rock, Conway, and Jonesboro. Winrock Automotive is community-focused and provides vehicle sales and service across Arkansas. We're honored to be a part of these unforgettable moments celebrating Arkansas student athletes. Winrock Automotive, connecting communities through service and support.
We are just about set for the second half of action. Fordyce in Mansfield. Redbugs have yet to find the end zone. Mansfield's done it twice on the big plays. It's all about the adjustments in the second half, Bobby.
Yeah, Fordyce is going to have to find a way, one, to get the stop here, but two, maybe rely on that running game a little bit. Mansfield has obviously landed a couple blows defensively and shut down the running game of Fordyce up to this point, but they got to find a way to get Micah Gamble going, and you feel like that's going to be the best chance to get their offense going.
Here's a look at the halftime stats. Passing game for Fordyce has been all they've been able to muster. The rushing yardage has been really stuffed by that Mansfield defense. And Andrew Burton and company, he has really piled on the rushing yards, 230. That has certainly been huge for the Tigers. Well, down on the sidelines, Tyler's got Coach Rogers for Fordyce.
Yeah, Coach, coming out of the locker room, down a couple scores, just what was the message to the team?
We just got to relax and play. We told them all week long, and everybody I've interviewed and talked to, everybody, I told we couldn't give up big plays and turn the ball over. We turned the opening kickoff over. We threw an interception. We gave up 2 big plays, and we're behind 16-0. So everything I said that we couldn't do, we've done in the first half. We got to do something in the second half to get back in the ball game. We just told our kids to relax and stop the turnovers and stop giving up the big plays and try to get back in the game quick.
Offensively, been moving the ball kind of in the middle of the field. What needs to change in the red zone?
Well, we just got to block and go downhill. We've been trying to bounce everything out, and they're doing a good job of keeping us from getting outside. We just got to cut it back and get up in there. Penalties. When we get penalties at the most inopportune time. I mean, we're on 1st and goal from the 3, and we get a motion penalty. Then we get another penalty when we're going in motion again inside the 10. I mean, so our penalties are big time. I mean, I don't know what it is. We just make them at the time when we don't need to, but penalties are killing us on offense.
All right, appreciate you, Coach. We'll see how things shake out in the second half after you guys.
Thank you, Tyler, down there with Coach Rogers. I mean, you saw it there from Coach Rogers, his adjustments that he's looking to make. But here were the highlights from the first half. Defense bowed up big early.
Yeah, that was the red zone stop early for Mansfield. We saw a lot of that on both sides as both Mansfield and Fordyce bowed the neck a little bit, if you'd call it that, in the red zone. But eventually, Coach Rogers hit the nail on the head. Inopportune penalties in the red zone, gave up 2 big plays, and that really is the difference in this first half.
And for Mansfield early, they had the penalties right in the red zone and couldn't get things rolling, but it was the 2 big plays. We've harped on it a ton. That's been the difference. 16-0. They've capitalized on both 2-point conversions, and that's what's given them a 16-0 run. Here's that run from Andrew Burton. Busted after a 4th down stop at the 10. He goes 90 yards.
You get a 4th down stop. You mentioned their defense creates things for your offense. Fordyce obviously a little bit dejected at that point, gives up the big run. And how about this play? Go up and catch it over the top of the helmet of the defensive back and put it into the end zone. Those 2 plays, I mean, that's the difference in this football game, but that's what this offense does. If you don't play assignment football, Every snap, they'll make you play. That's why Mansfield's up 16-0.
Back when it was still scoreless, it was 4th down and goal of the 10. Fordyce had it at the 3-yard line. Now looking like they're about to punch it in. Penalties, pushed them back, and then the defense for Mansfield stops them. 90-yard touchdown. Mansfield gets a stop again. 48-yard touchdown pass. It's been the stops for Fordyce, the adjustments that they've got to make. Coach already talked about it, but your thoughts heading into the second half?
I think they've got to be able to run the football. I mean, it's 1st and goal at the 3. You've got to be able to pound that in. They go run the ball on 1st down. They get nothing. Then the penalties start to happen and push them back. I mean, you're talking 11 carries for 17 yards in the first half for Fordyce. That's not going to be good enough. You've got to be unique enough, different enough, balance the field on offense. Fordyce has run the football. We mentioned the numbers at the top of the broadcast, 1,500 yards for Michael Gamble on the ground. Find a way to get that going. That's going to make things a lot easier to be successful in the passing game.
And how important for Mansfield. If they can score on this possession, it really punched Fordyce in the mouth.
Yeah, you and I were talking during the break. You know, Mansfield gets the football. Obviously, turnovers can happen, but if they chew up 5-6 yards per carry and chew up 5 or 6 minutes off this clock and they put it in the end zone, it's kind of got that feeling that the game may be out of reach.
Trey Cones will handle the kickoff duties for Fordyce. Redbugs can't allow any more points. They go onside kick. It's scooped up at the 48-yard line, maybe 47 for Mansfield, so that'll have good field position on their opening drive of the second half.
We saw Mansfield also line up in the I formation a couple times in that first half as well, and they're going to go toss sweep, get the ball to Burton, and try to create a play. They found a lot of success on the edges of this Fordyce defense, and I think we're going to see that. But also, it's almost a clean reset for Mansfield as well. We're going to go back to running the fullback out of the flex zone, run the toss sweep, maybe break in a counter or two or here. You act like it's nothing, because you really do feel like this drive to start the third quarter is massive for the Fordyce defense. If they get a stop, you're going to feel like they can get back in this game. If Mansfield puts it in the end zone, it's going to be a huge hill to climb.
You talk about a lot of different things, but it really is those second half adjustments. Who makes the better adjustments and finds ways to do what they do best? Mansfield trying to go to Andrew Burton, doing what they do best. Burton gives them 4 yards on 1st down to the 49.
Yeah, that's what this offense is built upon. Again, we're going to reset it. 4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards is a 1st down. So Mansfield's going to be content with that because, more importantly, the clock continues to move. The Fordyce offense is on the sideline, and it's just crippling to the psyche that you're giving up 4 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards. You can't find a stop against this offense.
Isn't that the name of the game, though, that flex bone wing tee, right? Is, hey, we know if we just get 3 or 4 yards every time, you can't stop it.
Yeah, it's the old 3 yards and a cloud of rubber pellets. Used to be dust.
It was a cloud of mud yesterday or last week for Fordyce. Going to give it off to Burton up the middle this time, and there was nowhere to go. He'll get a yard, they'll say, but forward progress stops him there.
That's what it's about. Cairo Randall right there in the hole, meets Burton, shuts it down. Now it's 3rd and 5, and this is when the defense can kind of tee off.
These are the kind of plays, though, in games like this. Who makes the plays? 3rd down and 5. If you're Mansfield, you're kind of in that no man's land. You might be going for it on 4th down if you get it close enough. Jubal Parks under center. Move a man in motion. That's Silas Burton. Movement up front. Back him up 5.
That's what you can't afford if you're Mansfield. Now it's 3rd and long.
We didn't hear it, but microphone wasn't turned on, but it was a false start, so 5 yards, back him up.
Yep, I believe it was a left guard or moved a little too quickly, pushes it back, and now you're against the sticks, and maybe you go to the passing game, you trust that. Again, not a whole lot of wins in this stadium. Mansfield's already thrown the football 3 times today, one of those on a trick play.
So now it's, 3rd and 10. If you're Fordyce, how imperative it is to not allow a lot of yardage here?
Yeah, it's big here at Fordyce. You got to find a way to get a stop defensively. You get a stop here on 3rd down, only give up a couple, you're likely getting the football back on a punt.
Mansfield going to go pitch play. Andrew Burton hitting the backfield, nearly loses the football, reverses his field. Parks gives him a block, but there's not much there. He's tangled up near the far sideline, right back to the line of scrimmage, and Fordyce with a big stop.
Fordyce's defense came out of the locker room ready to play. Just the toss play we saw them have success on in the first half, blown up in the backfield. Great job by Winston getting penetration, then try to reverse field. Nothing doing on that side of the ball either. And 3 and out for the Fordyce defense.
How hard is Andrew Burton to bring down? My goodness. 3 or 4 different guys hits him. He finally goes down. He's going to be the one to handle the punting duties.
One thing looking at this Fordyce roster up and down, and Winston right there is a prime example. A lot of sophomores, a lot of young players for the Redbugs.
Burton punts that one out of play. Jamartez Stroud was back deep to return, but not going to be able to, and they'll have it at their own 31.
Fordyce has broken a couple returns this year in the postseason, kickoff and punt returns. Mansfield's not even about to flirt with that. That's why we're seeing the sky kick on kickoffs, and that one you just punted out of bounds. You're not taking a threat of Gamble or that time Jamartez Stroud being back there at a chance to break a big one.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You're telling your team, we're not going to let those guys beat us in those scenarios.
Make them march at 70. Don't give up the big play on special teams.
Sure. For Fordyce, they get the stop that they so desperately needed, and they'll work from the shotgun with Andrew Ellison. How does Fordyce change things up in the second half with their offense? We shall see. They've not been able to run the football the way they'd want. It's been heavy dosage of passing game. They're going to hand it off to the tailback. Left side, not much there. TJ Harris might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
Xander Walters read that one perfectly. The linebacker just comes up, makes a play in the hole, and drops it for no gain.
I like the idea for Fordyce, trying to go to the run game, just trying to establish that. But Mansfield's front line, I mean, they have done exceptionally well.
Yeah, I mean, outside of a couple go routes on the outside, Fordyce has really struggled to get anything going offensively.
Second down and 10. Ellison going to throw this time. Got all kinds of time. Unloads over the middle. Low throw. Can't be scooped up by Tremaine Turner. Pass was just a little bit too low to the turf.
Yeah, Turner's frustrated there. He had some wide open space on the crosser right about the first down marker. If that throws on the mark, he catches that in stride and picks up big yardage. But instead, it's 3rd and long for Fordyce.
And now if you're the Redbugs, in order for you to even consider going for it on 4th down, you've got to be really close to that first down marker.
Find a way to create something with your offense. They're struggling to get it going.
Ellison going to throw. Got time off his back foot. In and out of the hands of Micah Gamble. It would have been shy of the first down anyway, but man, Gamble just couldn't quite haul it in.
Yeah, a lot of mustard on that pass from Ellison, but again, kind of fading away, pressure in his face, just too tall for Gamble. Tried to go up and make a play, but just like we saw with Mansfield on their first possession, quick 3 and out.
So both teams, the defenses, flex the muscle. And back deep for Mansfield, it's Silas Burton and Isaac Carson. It's Chase Humphrey getting set to punt the football away. It's a little spiraling punt. He'll take a hit at the 46-yard line and take a red bug bounce all the way down to the 37-yard line. That's where Mansfield will set up shop for their second drive of the second half. We'll step aside. 16-0. Tigers on top of the Redbugs. With 8:35 to play in the third.
For over 70 years, Farm Bureau Insurance has offered coverage for automobiles, homes, farms, and lives across Arkansas. Proud to support the Arkansas Activities Association. More at afbic.com.
This month in Passport on the PBS app.
It's a stirring celebration with unforgettable music from the Tabernacle Choir and Orchestra at Temple Square.
This is Gospel Messiah.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app. This month in Passport on the PBS app.
In the middle of the war, we had ourselves a Merry Christmas.
Hear the untold stories of the last months of the war and find out how close we came to an even more catastrophic conclusion.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app.
Well, as we do every single contest, we name our Arkansas PBS Student All-Star, and this one's actually on the field today. The star running back for Fordyce, Micah Gamble, the junior. Well, he has had quite the career, but he's our Arkansas PBS Student All-Star. So Mansfield will have the football at their own 38-yard line. And for Fordyce, I mean, we've said it. You feel like this is almost like the opening drive again, right? Got to have stops.
Yeah, that front four, front five, that defenders in the box going to have to do a job here for Mansfield. Defense can keep your offense in it as long as you can. Eventually, you feel like Fordyce's offense is going to break through.
Jubal Park's going to give it off to Andrew Burton. Breaks one tackle, bringing the pile, pushing it deep across the midfield line into the 45 of Fordyce.
Going to put him over 170 yards already for the contest. Of course, 90 coming on one play. But it shows you how difficult it is to bring 0 down with one defender. Jump on his back, doesn't matter. He's going to carry you for extra yardage.
You know, one thing that Coach Overton talked about with Burton that he's been so impressed with is the way that he protects the football. And in this game, you've seen him when he's bringing through. He is making sure he does not lose that football.
Possession of the football is the name of the game for this offense. Can't afford to give it away.
1st and 10 at the 44 of Fordyce. Going to go pitch play on the end around. Jeremiah Burton, 2-3 yards. They keep on pushing the pile. They'll give him the 40-yard line. Now the far ref says 40, near ref 41. We'll see where they spot it. 3 to 4 yards. They'll split the difference right in the middle.
And that's a win on 1st down for Mansfield. You're looking for 4 yards. Every time you snap the football, they pick it up there. You know, Fordyce won 1st down on the opening possession of this 3rd quarter, got a 3 and out. Now Mansfield's starting to get a little momentum, and really when you see a flexible offense pick up the first down of a drive, that's when they feel like they're in rhythm.
That is exactly right. Fordyce looking to find a stop. They've loaded it. Loading the box. Give it on the inside to Andrew Burton, and he has nowhere to go. Big stop. Tristan Winston was the one leading the charge that time.
Yeah, Winston again right in the hole, did a nice job. Everybody around the football, crashes in from the outside. Also going to give credit to 52 on the inside. Stroud stacks it up at the point of attack. Now it's 3rd and medium for the Tigers.
That was such a great play from Winston because he had to wait to see if the quarterback still had the ball, right? He stayed his position. It gave him a spot to make both tackles if he needed to. Now it's 3rd down and 6 at the Fordyce 40. Big play upcoming. Jubal Parks. Little fake the handoff. On the left side this time. Not much there to Jeremiah Burton. Fordyce the stop. It's 4th and 5.
Yeah, first in the half we saw Mansfield run that play, the wing back around. They had the defense flowing. That time Fordyce stayed at home, and there's not many running lanes on the old counter play, and now it's 4th and medium again, and no sign of the punt team.
Yeah, if you're Fordyce and you stay with assignment right there, don't get fooled by the misdirection. You're able to get those stops. They were fooled last time, as you mentioned. Defense was moving, and now they're going to make some adjustments on the offensive side. Might be punting the football.
Yeah, when you've got a 16-0 lead, that clock's moving. Already halfway home here in the 3rd quarter. See if you can pin Fordyce deep and make them march it 75, 80 yards.
3 seconds on the play clock. Going to have to go. They will. Burton's able to get a high punt. It'll take a bounce at the 15 and bounce right out at the 14-yard line. Well, let's say 15. So that's where Fordyce will have it. They'll have to go 85 yards for response with 5:46 in the 3rd.
So Fordyce's defense has rose to the challenge here in this 3rd quarter. Back-to-back stops, giving their offense the football back. But they've got to get something going on the ground. Try to do anything to see Micah Campbell break one in the run game, because the passing game consistency has not been there for Fordyce.
No doubt. And Tyler, you've talked about how good this Fordyce defense is. Now it gives their chance for the offense.
Yeah, and guys, the offense actually helps out the defense from the mental standpoint. You mentioned it. Quarterback Haddock Elson playing the last half of the season through an ACL injury, and the defenders even told me this week, anytime they're down, they think about their quarterback and they say, hey, he's putting potentially his career on the line for us. We can find something with him. So no matter how much they get down, don't expect them to quit.
Thank you, Tyler. Great stuff down there on the sideline. Tremaine Turner got the toss play on the end around, but he had nowhere to go. They'll lose 4 yards. Mansfield defense once again, great pursuit, and they pin him in the backfield. So it's 2nd down and 14 now. And, you know, for all intents and purposes, we've talked about the Mansfield offense, but this Mansfield defense is no joke.
They're doing a job holding this explosive Fordyce offense just 180 yards in the 1st half.
Pass play into the flat. Nice move. Harris makes a man miss. Can't stay on his feet. He gets to the 20-yard line, but, man, if he's able to keep his footing, he's running for a while.
Jubal Parks catches just enough of the right foot and the right leg there to prevent a big play. Mansfield's had some, Fordyce has had some success running the two receivers off, sneaking the running back into the backfield behind them. That time they've got it back to third and manageable.
Third down and manageable, 5 yards in fact. How important is it going to be for Ellison to find some accuracy in these big moments?
It's going to be big. You know, Mansfield's dropping everybody. They're trying to avoid the big plays. Well, that's leaving things really in the middle of the field and the underneath stuff. It's got to be able to set your feet and drive on the throw.
Ellison in trouble, back foot hit as he throws, got a man wide open. It's complete. Jamartez Stroud all alone. Nobody's going to get him. Fordyce, their first score of the game, and they're right back in this thing.
Give a ton of credit to Ellison. Stood in the pocket, knew he was about to take a big hit, and delivered a throw to a wide open receiver. Busting coverage from Mansfield lets the Red Bugs right back in it.
How about the concentration, too, from Stroud? With that defender closing in quickly, Ellison, I mean, I know he underthrew that ball, but he's throwing off his back foot. That is a cannon to get that ball to where it's playable.
And most importantly, you see a receiver that wide open, you can't overthrow him. So underthrowing him, there's not a bad decision. Again, he knew he was about to take a big hit, delivers the football, and the first real big play we've seen for the Red Bucks.
16-6, but not done yet. You got to get the two-point conversion to stay toe for toe with Mansfield. Cadillac Ellison, what a throw. And Jamartez Stroud, the finish, looking for the two-point conversion here. Gonna go shotgun Ellison again, gonna throw. Got all kinds of time. Back of the end zone, broken up. Silas Burton knocks it down.
He's trying to find his receiver in the back of the end zone, but if he would have gone to his check down, his receiver TJ Harris in the flat was wide open. That's a big stop. Even though Mansfield gives up the score, they've still got a 10-point lead.
And that throw was, even though it was slightly underthrown, he got it there. I mean, that ball carried a lot more than I thought it did. And for Fordyce, you almost feel like that was a must-have.
Yeah. You know, their defense has done the job in the second half, and now the offense returns the favor. Nothing really going. We knew this offense was built on the big play. They finally hit one, and you feel like this is a whole new ball game.
16-6 now. Both those two-point conversions for Mansfield are huge.
Yeah, they are, and that's the name of the game. You see it all the time in small school football. It's the score, yes, is always important, but the two-point conversion is instrumental. Mansfield's been really successful at it. Now, obviously here today, 2 for 2, but all season long, and that's why the margin still stands at 10.
Trey Cones looking to roll with the onside earlier. Will he do the same here? More of a pooch kick taken at the 40-yard line, going to be returnable, and then sliding down at the 41-yard line for Mansfield. I believe that was Jubal Parks.
Yep, quarterback not going to take any unnecessary hits. He takes enough running this flexible in offense. So secures the kick, goes down, and now the Mansfield offense is going to try to go back to work. Because you think about it, yes, 310 yards of offense is a lot in a game, especially for a ground-oriented attack. But you take away 2 plays, and Mansfield's really struggled to move the football as well.
Yeah, that's a great point. And then, outside the red zone, too, they haven't been able to get in the red zone. They're 0 for 2 there. Defenses have made plays down the stretch. You take away the big plays. And again, even for Fordyce, there's a big play, right? Yeah. 3 big plays, 2 for Mansfield, 1 for Fordyce, and that's all the scoring.
Yeah, you got 3 touchdowns, all of which are 50 yards or longer in this contest.
That's crazy. 4:09 to play in the third quarter. Fordyce, all kinds of life now. See how they respond defensively. They're 2 for 2 on stops, but this time Burton breaks one across midfield. 1 man to beat at the 20, and Drew Burton with a response, and Mansfield's in again.
Did I say 3 touchdowns of 50 or more? I meant 4. Because how about another house call? Burton on the toss sweep, cuts it back, uses the momentum and the flow of the defense against the Red Bugs. And again, fullbacks aren't supposed to be that fast, JB. It's not fair.
Wow. The ability to bounce off and break tackles, my goodness. I don't know how this guy's not gotten the offers to play at the next level.
I mean, you're talking about a 2,400-yard rusher now on the season. That's impressive. Somebody give this guy a chance to play on Saturdays. He won't make you feel bad about that offer.
Not at all.
Breaks a tackle and then breaks one loose.
I think his speed, his strength's one thing, but then the way he just breaks tackles like nobody. And this is a good Fordyce defense. 2-point conversion. This is big. Jubal Parks could have tossed it. Jeremiah Burton to the end zone. Ball comes out. It's loose. Fordyce has got it. I don't know if he crossed the plane or not. No signal. I think that might be ruled a fumble.
Still no indicator from the officiating crew on if he crossed the goal line or not. This would be a reviewable play because it is a scoring play.
Yeah.
So all the football has to do is touch the white of the goal line.
Results of the tries, no good. Ball was out before it crossed the end zone.
So they're going to say he lost control of the football before he crossed the plane. Can't really tell from this angle as too many bodies. I think they're going to go back and look at that. That should be a successful try.
I agree with you.
So we'll see if they do indeed decide to review it. If there's a shot from up top that shows the goal line and where the runner is, that may be the best angle that can convince the replay crew.
The previous play is under review.
That it was a successful try. I mean, you look at it right there, at least what we're looking at on our monitor, it looks like he's across the goal line. His feet are across the goal line before the ball comes out.
He's kind of got the ball up in the air with two hands. And here's the look that you're going to get to see.
So right here, all it has to do is touch the line. He's got possession. That's across. That should be a successful two-point try and also should be a quick review.
I certainly would think so. How cool is it, though, that we get this ability, right? Years ago, you didn't get this review, and they get a chance to get it right.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing. You want to find a way to get it right, and they've got so many different angles at it, and you're looking at what exactly the officiating crew is going to be able to look at here in the booth. I mean, this is the same equipment that when the Razorbacks play here in War Memorial, it's the same equipment they use, the same angles they're looking at. So rolling out the red carpet, that's what these kids deserve. You deserve to get the call right, I believe at least. Of course, I'm unofficial. This should be a successful two-point try.
You would think so. And it'd be huge because it would put it 22-6 or 24-6, excuse me.
Yeah, and put the lead right back at 3 possessions. So it's at 16 now, so that's why this is so big. It's still only a 2-possession game.
I mean, this is a monumental call. They're going to take some time to make sure they get it right, but I'm with you. I mean, you got to have enough evidence, and I think he still got the football firmly by the time he crosses the pylon.
Yeah, and this is why coaches always tell you never reach the ball out, but on a 2-point try, you're just trying to touch the white to the goal line to break that plane. Again, this should be a successful try, but the longer this draws out, more Fordyce fans should be feeling pretty good about themselves because it has to be clear and indisputable.
Yeah.
So even though it may be clear to us, you got to have the perfect angle at them. Of course, they're following the rules to the law, right? To the got to dot the I's, cross the T's, make sure that everything's done legally.
Let's see if this angle you can see anything definitive.
Yeah, maybe too many bodies in the way.
Yeah.
It was a good opportunity to give a shout out to the crew out there on the field battling the elements. Because it's not a lot of fun to be outside today. So kudos to those guys working the cameras.
Yeah, it's a little chilly out there, isn't it?
Yeah. Tyler mentioned it. He's having to suffer with it as well. Better he than us, right?
He is better suited for that. He does a much better job on the sidelines.
He's young and tough.
And he's good at what he does. They certainly are taking a good long look at this.
Yeah. Review's taken now almost 3 minutes. Looks like we may be getting the call on the verdict.
Whitehat's getting set to take off the headset. He still hasn't taken it off, though. Here he goes. We'll get our final call here in a moment. Remember, the call on the field was a fumble. No go to the 2-point try. Let's see what the call is.
After review, the call is overturned, and it is a 2-point try.
That's what you and I expected, JB. The conversion is good. It looks like he broke the plane. And Mansfield gets the 2-point try, and more importantly, lead now at 3 possessions.
How about the story for Coach Whit Overton, too, right? His first ever trip for Mansfield in the state championship game. Their boys team was 2018 the baseball championship. That's the only boys team that's ever made it. And boy, his story too. You know, he worked at Walmart, a distribution center, not too long ago. He told us, and got into coaching. And I think he's answered his calling.
Yeah, he said he really came into his own working on the staff for Doc Crowley and company at Boonville. And you can watch this offense and see this has got Boonville's fingerprints all over it. But sometimes that's all it takes. You know, you think about you know what you're going to do in life. He said he thought he was going to work for Walmart forever, and so decided to trade in all his stock, go back to pay for school. Became a coach, and I'd say he's made a pretty good decision. He's turned Mansfield into a state power, which is a lot of fans of football 10 years ago would have laughed at you if you had said that.
Isn't it crazy the story that you have We got stories aplenty across the sports, which makes it so fun, so cool.
Well, that's what's great about small school football is the kickoff goes out of bounds. Is because all it takes is a change of culture. You get a coach that believes in the kids and invests in it. Not that Mansfield didn't have that before. It's not what I'm saying. But sometimes the stars align.
Kick out of bounds, kicking team.
The stars align, and then you get a really good group of players come in, and you can turn what used to be the third or fourth or fifth best team in your conference into the envy of the entire state in your classification.
Well, Mansfield's kind of close to your neck of the woods where you grew up. They've got a player, Trevin Hadaball, on their team who has a relation to your old high school coach.
Yeah, Bob Hadaball, a longtime coach. I played at Roland, Oklahoma, the Oklahoma side of Fort Smith, and he was my coach all through junior high and our sophomore year at high school. Then he popped over and actually coached Coach Overton when he was at Mansfield when he was a player. Wow. So kind of unique tie-in there. Shout out to Coach Hadaball if he's watching at home. Maybe here in the stands. He's a tough guy. The old Flatback Express, I remember.
The glory days. Fordyce will have it. Gonna go pass into the flat. Ellison, nice throw. It's complete to Xavier Jones. We've talked about Jamartez Stroud, the big plays that he's made, but Xavier Jones has held his own.
He has, and he's the number 2 receiver coming into it on the season for Fordyce, and you can tell they're giving him a cushion. A lot of the attention's going to go to Stroud on the other side, so Jones has stepped up, had a really good day.
You talked about your role in high school team. We were talking on the break, y'all. Had a pretty good junior and senior season and just couldn't get the job done.
Well, we don't need to talk about that. You're going to bring up 25-year-old wounds, JB.
Oh, I love it. So it makes it fun. And to make it to this point for both Fordyce and Mansfield, it's such an incredible feat. Ellison going to throw it, dump it to Harris, undercut at the 45-yard line. Had some daylight, but couldn't shake the one tackle.
Yeah, Cooper Edwards comes up, and that play is kind of indicative of how this game has gone. They dump it off to the backfield for Fordyce, and these are the plays they've been able to break those tackles all season long. Mansfield's done a really good job of one-on-one in space of preventing a dink and dunk pass to go for more yardage.
Second down and 7. Ellison going to throw again. Dumps in the flat. Got Harris. Daylight. Inside the 45. The 40. Out of bounds near the line to gain at the 38-yard line. We'll see where they mark him. As they decide that, we'll go down and talk to Tyler.
Yeah, guys, you have been talking about it in a game like this with these two styles of football. The two-point conversions, incredibly important. We saw the overturn on that. But even before, after Fordyce finally broke free for a touchdown, the Mansfield sideline stayed up because as they were telling their players, hey, you got one of the stops. They got the stop on the two-point conversion and then immediately turned that momentum into another Mansfield touchdown.
It was quite the response. Andrew Burton busting it for a 50-plus yard run. Now Fordyce's chances to return. They bring the pressure. Pocket collapse. Complete in the flat. Got a man inside the 25, the 20. Tangled up at the 10. Still on his feet. He's gone. Touchdown, Micah Gamble.
Spoke too soon, JB. Mitch, I just credited Mansfield making those one-on-one plays. That time they couldn't get Gamble to the turf. Shows you why he's got all kinds of Division I offers. Breaks to a big one, and the Fordyce Redbug offense is showing life.
Wow. That was some pressure. How about Ellison to step in and make the throw? A clean throw right to Micah Gamble, and they just couldn't bring him down. Jeremiah Burton was trying to hang on for dear life, but Micah Gamble would not be denied.
Just different. That strength. It doesn't look like he's got the frame that you might expect somebody to run through tackles, but it's Micah Gamble. Really impressive strength on the outside. Gets in the end zone.
Man, that guy's a dude. Micah Gamble. 2-point try here. Ellison needs it. Gonna have to roll outside, lobs it back of the end zone, too far in front, and incomplete.
I wouldn't have counted either way as the receiver stepped on the end line. You saw the official throw his hat. That means Jones stepped out of bounds, could not be the first player to touch the football. The pass falls incomplete either way, so it doesn't matter. But take another look at what Micah Gamble can do with the football in his hands.
So impressive. I mean, goodness, and it's the strength to not go down. Stayed in bounds. Another big play for a touchdown.
Somebody's going to get a really, really good football player in a couple of years. He's mentioned the offers he's got, Arkansas State, Central Arkansas, a handful of other Division I player programs. He's going to do nothing but get better and better. And I mentioned the number of young players that Fordyce has. Stroud, junior, Gamble, a junior, Cadillac, sophomore. They got a chance to be back here next year. Of course, they're trying to win it right now.
Yeah, they don't want to think about next year. They want to finish now. But you talk about Gamble, he's also got that offer from Minnesota up north under the Big Ten.
They got a starting quarterback from the state of Arkansas already.
That's right. Out of Fayetteville.
Novel idea, recruit quarterbacks from your state.
Well, the pooch kick. Fair catch called for by Mansfield. They'll set up shop. It's 24-12, still a 2-possession game. That's why those 2-point conversions are big.
So a 12-point lead, but Mansfield not feeling probably as good as about themselves right now as they were at halftime. Had a 16-0 lead, and Fordyce's offense, especially the passing game, has come to life. But I think they're probably just going to turn around and say, hey, 0 carries. All he's done is have 234 yards and a pair of scores today.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, 13 yards per carry. Sources tell me that's good.
I'm going to tell you right now, that Andrew Burton kid, he could play at the next level.
No doubt.
QB keep, Jubal Parks following his block, lunges forward for a couple to the 45-yard line, and that is all, 2nd and 8.
Yeah, you don't see Parks keep the football a ton himself, but that time Fordyce really took away the option, and he had to just tuck it to try to get what he could, lunges forward just for a couple.
Boy, Bobby, this game's had a little bit of everything, hasn't it? You saw defenses bow up big, some red zone stops, but then we've seen a ton of really fun chunk plays.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we expected between these two teams, and that's what they've done all season long. Because if you don't play a 100% sound assignment football, you're going to get the big play against Mansfield, and Fordyce has just got speed to burn at almost every skill position player.
2:18 and counting to play in the third quarter. Fordyce loads the box. Going to hand it off Burton, trying to bounce it around. 3-4 tacklers on him, and he finally goes down. Ford's progress was stopped at the 47, so a 2-yard gain, and it's 3rd and 6.
This is a massive 3rd down upcoming for the Fordyce defense. Your offense is clicking, got a chance to get off the field. Easier said than done. Got to find a way to win this 3rd down.
And in a game like this, don't get me wrong, there's still plenty of time left, but possessions come into play. You don't have as many as you'd like, so you get a stop here. You got to capitalize.
And you believe if they get 4 or 5 here, the offense may stay on the field for Mansfield.
Sure. You got to think so. 3rd and 6, hard count. Now looking to the sideline is Jubal Parks with 9 on the play clock. Winding down, going to have to go somewhat quickly here. 3 seconds. They get it off. Parks going to give it off to Silas Burton. Up the middle, trying to get to the 50. He's not going to. Stood up at the 49, and Mansfield's got a decision to make.
Yeah, this is decision time indeed. You're looking at 4th and a long 3. Have to get the football all the way to the 47. Might have cut that up a little too early, but again, Fordyce did a nice job of setting the edge on that counter play, force things back into the interior of the defense. And now we'll see what Mansfield wants to do.
They bring a couple of different players on the field. Cooper Edwards and Colton Moore. Might be a punt job for Burton. If it is, do you like the conservative call?
Looks like
they're not punting.
Yeah, they're going to keep the offense out there. This has been a heavy toss formation for Mansfield. See if they stick with it.
4th and 3. Big play, biggest play of the game thus far. Going to toss it. Burton trying to follow his blocks. Cuts it up. Near the 1st down. He's not going to get it. Fordyce stops him with a yard to go. Big time 4th down stop for Fordyce.
Micah Gamble right there normally makes the plays on the offensive end, but that time he sticks his nose in it and stops it right a yard shy of the 1st down marker, and what a big play for the Redbugs.
So Coach Overton rolls the dice a little bit. Let's head down to Tyler now.
Yeah, guys, you can hear it going on behind me. You can hear it whenever Fordyce has the ball. The Mansfield supporters this year have been bringing the cowbells and bringing them loud. They've already broken 4 during the game today, and they're going to stay loud the rest of the way.
They have certainly been loud. That's got to play a factor, and that Fordyce sideline's got a lot to cheer about right now.
So I control the inbox on the old AAA Facebook page. If I got asked once, I got asked 30 times this week, are cowbells allowed inside the stadium?
Are they, Bobby?
They are indeed.
So they weren't illegally.
They're not.
Snuck in.
That is not contraband.
Fair enough. Air horns are not allowed.
Nope. If it has an external power source, can't bring it.
Gotcha. Well, there you go. If you're coming tonight to the game, now you know.
Yep.
2nd down and 10 after the incompletion from Cadillac Ellison.
Steve Roberts has a fever, and that fever only cures more cowbell.
little SNL, I like it.
Yeah.
Fordyce would love a little more cowbell. Allison steps to the pocket. Got a man wide open. Harris inside the 40. He'll run out of bounds at the 34-yard line, but TJ Harris with all kinds of running room.
They credit the offensive line there. Gave Cadillac all day to throw, able to go through his progressions, realize nobody's open downfield, checks it down, makes the right decision. Big gainer.
I think he also sold it looking for that big ball. It gave a lot of separation for Harris to have even more running room.
Seeing a lot of Harris in the backfield using Gamble as a slot receiver. He's going to be on the left side of the formation. Harris can make some plays in the passing game as well. Listed as a fullback, but he's more of a running back when he's got the ball in his hands.
First down and 10 with 21 seconds to play in the third quarter. Allison pump fake, flicks it to Harris. Nowhere to go, though. It was a nice idea, and Harris is in a lot of pain. Or is that Gamble?
On the receiving end there, but again, what a great play by Ellison. The pressure is getting there. He's got the strength to recognize, hey, I've got a receiver right there. Instead of a loss or 5 or 6, able to flip it out to his running back. It's a no gain, but it's a win in the column for Fordyce, as now it's just 2nd and 10.
Harris glad to see him okay. Walks off with his own power, but here we go. Fourth quarter upcoming. 24-12, Mansfield the lead, but Fordyce is driving. Don't go anywhere. We've got a good one in the capital city.
Centennial Bank supports communities across Arkansas and is a proud supporter of the Arkansas Activities Association and Arkansas PBS Sports, providing financial services since 1999. Member FDIC. More at my100bank.com.
This month in Passport on the PBS app.
In the middle of the war, we had ourselves a Merry Christmas.
Hear the untold stories of the last months of the war and find out how close we came to an even more catastrophic conclusion.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app. This month on Arkansas PBS.
Our mission is to renew the firing line tradition for a new generation and engage in a debate about the America we want to create in the 21st century.
Please join me for conversations with newsmakers, world leaders. Good to be with you, Christiane. Artists and writers.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
Get your live action photos from the game at myarpbs.org/photos. Grab free downloads, have prints made. These are a great championship keepsake. Just look at Kai Caddy. He does an excellent job, doesn't he, Bobby?
Oh, no doubt. Supplying the photos for us and for you guys.
So go get them.
Hundreds, and I mean hundreds of photos for you to download for free.
High quality photos as well. 12 minutes left to decide the 3A state champion. Fordyce trying to score to make this game real interesting. They're at the 34-yard line. Ellison with the pocket collapsing, breaks one tackle, but he can't break another. Unloads. I think he was down. They'll rule him before he got rid of the football. That's a 10-yard sack, and it's 3rd down and 20.
The pass rush has been close a handful of times for Mansfield, but finally able to break free, get in the face of Cadillac, and finally somehow get him down on the ground. Tip of the cap to that front four for Mansfield, and now it is 3rd and a mile.
And naturally for Fordyce, it's 4-down territory. So you got 2 downs. You've just, and we say this, we break it down a ton. On 3rd and long like this, you just got to get it to 4th and manageable.
Yeah. Get half of it back.
Sure.
Just try to get that sack yardage back here. Give yourself a chance on 4th down.
3rd and 20. Ellison going to throw. Got time. Over the middle. Intercepted. Silas Burton picks it off. Taking it on the other end to the 45. Midfield. Huge turnover from Ellison. A flag comes in late. extracurricular, but Silas Burton picks it off.
Burton was just playing center field, that deep high safety for Mansfield, reading the eyes of the quarterback, and as soon as Ellison let it go, he just undercut that route. Easy interception, and maybe 15 more coming up for Mansfield.
That ball slightly underthrown. Burton just jumped in front and snatched it. And you're right, that flag after the play likely going to be a personal foul and an extra 15.
But Burton did a great job of just reading the quarterback's eyes. Ellison kind of stared down that deep post, knew where we were going with the football. Time it was snapped, made an easy play.
Results of the play is interception. After the play, dead ball, unsportsmanlike, Fordyce. 15 yards. It'll be first down.
So bad goes to worse, JB. You got to be able to maintain your composure after the turnover. But as you mentioned, the extracurriculars, 15 yards, and Mansfield's in business.
There's that pick from Burton, and he just kept rolling. And then a little bit of extra pushing going on, but I also think the flag came on the pancake on the other side.
It did. You know, some frustration there from Fordyce, and you understand that. You've kind of been struggled other than the two big plays to get anything going, but you got to be able to maintain that composure. There's way too much time left in this football game to think it's over.
That there is, and if you're Mansfield, you're licking your chops and you think, hey, we got a 2-score lead. Let's milk some clock and plus field position. Jubal Parks will be under center, 11-12 to play in the football game. Turnovers and penalties, name of the game in state championship games, and right now Mansfield's winning both. We'll hand it off. Burton slips one tackle. Brought down after 3 yards to the 31. Clock rolls, 2nd and 7.
Yeah, the clock is as much of a teammate for Mansfield right now as the other guys in red and whites on the sideline. Gonna make sure that that continues to run. If you're a Mansfield ball carrier, make sure you stay in bounds. Obviously, you're trying to pick up 3-4 yards of carry just like they did on first down. Find a way to keep the offense on the field, move the chains, and keep that clock turning.
Jubal Parks again under center, as he's been all game long. Keeps it, option outside Burton. Silas Burton, spin move, breaks a tackle, inside the 20, inside the 10, rumbles inside the 5. They finally bring him down around the 3-yard line. What a run from Silas Burton, and he's slow to get up.
I like the idea of getting the ball to Burton. He already made a big play defensively. Try to reward him on the offensive end as well. He's still down on the turf, might have got rolled up on, but takes the option pitch, breaks through a one-arm tackle. Going to be first and goal.
10-yard penalty from the spot. Still be 2nd down.
Late flag comes in there, at least one in the pile. So wipe off the big play from Burton. My fault.
Wow, so they'll bring it back. While they get that sorted out, let's head down to Tyler. He's got something on Silas Burton.
Yeah, guys, just saw the nice run, even if it comes back there, and obviously the huge interception. Silas, just a sophomore. Last year, though, as a freshman, he got called up to the varsity team to join them for depth in the playoffs. So even at such a young age, he had that important experience getting into playoff games last year, and we're seeing that pay off now.
Thank you, Tyler. Well, Silas Burton still on the field. They're getting tended to him. He gets up on his own power, so that's good to see right there, Bobby.
Yeah, that's not only good for their offense, good for their defense as well. They need him on both sides of the football. Good to see him get up and walk off on his own power. Mansfield, though, again, we saw that happen a lot in the first half for both these teams. You get a big play, you think you've got a 1st and goal. Instead, wipe it away, now 2nd and long.
The play of these Burtons, you've mentioned it. I mean, they got enough siblings to have an 8-man football team, right?
They do, yeah, and 2 graduated last year.
Yeah.
Got 2 8th graders that are going to be on the team next year after they move up from the 9th grade season ends. I mean, what a great story to see. You had 4, you adopt 4 more, and it's just a great family there in the Fort Smith River Valley that's making an obvious impact on Mansfield.
It's such a cool thing. I've got 8 brothers and sisters as well, 3 adopted, 5 biological, so I know how it is a little bit. A lot of backyard football, I'll tell you that much. So the Burtons certainly come by naturally, getting a lot of time to play. They'll go pitch play. Jeremiah Burton slips a tackle. Could he go? One man to beat. It's a house call for Jeremiah Burton.
Option worked on one side, came back because of penalty, run it to the other side, but again, a flag on the far side of the field.
That one's down around just inside the 20 at the 19-yard line on the far end, and it might be coming back. We'll see.
Might have got a Fordyce with a personal foul coming over the back of a Mansfield player.
during the play, unsportsmanlike, Fordyce.
So the touchdown's going to stand. You kind of see it behind the play there. It kind of ran over the top of a Mansfield player. Touchdown for Burton. Will likely go Mansfield will take half the distance on the try here, or they could have the option of taking it on the kickoff.
I don't think you saw it on your screen.
The penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
But Jeremiah Burton, after the signal was called and they officially ruled it a touchdown, he did a really fancy backflip.
That family's got talent, no question about it. Been a ton of fun to watch. You saw during the trivia question, 4,600 yards rushing. They're inching towards the 4,000, or excuse me, the 5,000-yard rushing mark for the season. Got 460 on the ground, thereabouts right now. Excuse me, 400. It's pretty impressive.
Well, they've certainly capitalized. Another big play. We haven't seen a 1-yard touchdown run or anything. We have seen some big ones.
That might have been the shortest touchdown we've had all day at 36 yards.
No kidding. 2-point try upcoming for Mansfield. They're up 30-12, trying to go up by 20 points. Inside handoff, Burton untouched. The 2-point try is good. It's 32-12.
4 for 4 on 2-point tries. That's another touchdown in itself. Mansfield taking advantage when they need to. How about touchdowns today, JB? 90, 48, 80, 59, 38, and 36. If you like big plays, you have found the right place.
That you have. Here's the backflip from Burton. Now, I knew he had it somewhere. Look at there.
Oh, put a little salsa on it.
They're having some fun out there, I can tell you what. Well, let's head down to Tyler. He's got an update on Silas Burton.
Yeah, guys, the update, well, if you can see right now, he's jogging back on the field with his helmet on. Just in some pain. Trainer asked if he wanted a brace. He said no. And then he chugged a couple of mustard packets, something I've personally never seen. They said it's just for cramps. No pickle juice available. They went with mustard, and there you go. He's back on the field.
There's got to be some relish packets around here somewhere. Why are we doing it with mustard?
Well, when you don't have pickle juice, do the second best thing, mustard.
Yes.
So remember that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty will give Mansfield the kickoff at the Fordyce 45. So Redbugs have hurt themselves on some penalties a couple of times, really throughout the contest, in the red zone, but here of late for sure.
Yeah, Mansfield's still going to stick with the sky kick, you've got to believe, but instead that chance to pin Fordyce inside their 30.
Jeffney Smithson approaches. A wobbly spinning kick, bounce to the 25, going to be trying to return by Micah Gamble. He'll get out across the 35 to the 36, so they'll have 64 yards to go, and Fordyce needs to score quick.
Mansfield may be a little fortunate there. I don't think that was a planned squib kick, and that was also the opposite side of the field where the majority of their players were expecting the football to go. Micah Gamble would have had a lot of running space, but kudos to the 4 gunners on the far side to recognize the miss hit, kind of like my short game on the golf course, and rally to the football.
See, what you're telling me is Smithson unintentionally gambled on that one, and Micah Gamble trying to make him pay.
Man, you're so good.
I try. That was actually not, I should have done a little better. There we go, 32-12, Fordyce got to get something. They go toss it on this end around across the 40, 45, stays in, bounced out. Tremaine Turner. He had one called back a moment ago earlier in the first half. That was a good game.
Yeah, great job at stretching that out. Eventually caught the corner and just pushed out of bounds. Was an inch away from breaking a really big one.
Getting that outside the tackles. I mean, that's the name of the game for Fordyce right now. You got to have stuff quick. You need chunk plays. Still a lot of time left, don't get me wrong, but the way this game has gone, Fordyce hasn't been able to stop Mansfield the last 3 tries. Ellison going to throw this time. In hot pursuit, dumps it over the middle, underthrown at the 40-yard line. Xander Walters, the senior from Mansfield, was close by.
I think that was a prime example of Ellison not being healthy. He did enough to get to the outside, but couldn't plant his feet, didn't have the legs in that throw, didn't have the strength to get there with all arms, and that's where that torn ACL comes into play. Even though he avoided the pressure, just didn't have enough zip on the football to get it to his target.
I mean, the ability that he's even out there playing right now, first off, is unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have guys playing with torn ACL. That just doesn't happen.
No, it shows you the type of player he is, but also the type of teammate that even to be willing to risk that.
Yeah, knowing that he gives his team a really good chance. Going to need a lot of help, though, here down the stretch. Ellison in the flat. Nice catch by Harris. Makes one man miss. Got another one. Cuts it up, trying to stay on his feet, but he's tackled in the open field. Joe Carter, a big one-on-one tackle.
That's been the most consistent play for Fordyce all afternoon long. You run the two receivers to the side out, and you sneak the running back behind them. And again, you break a tackle, you cross the midfield, and you got another big gainer.
It was a great play call, but how about Carter, though, to make sure he kept him in front? Because if he gets by Carter, ain't no one left.
Yeah, adding to the big play touchdowns list we already have.
That would have been one. Ellison, and trying to go quick out, but a flag, and the play's bone dead.
Receivers on the right side of the formation did not get set. We'll back it up 5.
Dead ball. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still be first down.
There's one thing that you look back in Fordyce, if they're not going to win this football game, if they don't, they're going to look back at the penalties.
Yeah, it all goes back to that one possession inside their red zone with about 4.5 minutes left in the first half. You've got it 1st and goal to 3, a chance to punch it in, take an early lead. You never know how a team's going to respond, especially one like Mansfield that hasn't been behind essentially all season. They had a couple tough games, yes, but instead you back it up, then you have a couple penalties, then Mansfield gets the offense rolling.
Ellison going deep. Left sideline, complete, Jamartez Stroud, and he'll walk it into the end zone for the big-time touchdown, much needed for Fordyce.
You're starting to see why he got pulled a Division I offer over the weekend. It's almost tough to guard, or even impossible to guard on the outside. Not a Mansfield defender within 5 yards of him. He can waltz into the end zone. This one's not over yet.
Fordyce keep hanging around. Jamartez Stroud, he waltzed into the end zone too.
He is.
A little strut.
Yeah, the offer from Central Arkansas that came yesterday won't be the last. That guy can make some plays.
100%. 2-point conversion try coming. It's still going to be a 14-point game regardless, but if they make this, it'd make it a 12-point game.
5 catches, 200 yards for Stroud.
Unbelievable. Ellison, too tall. Looked for the crossing right over the middle. Incomplete. So no good on the 2-point try, but it's 32-18. Fordyce showing some fight. They trail 14. And Mansfield looking to take home the hardware. 32-18 the lead. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Everett Buick GMC provides vehicles to Arkansas families and supports local organizations. Community involvement has been part of our story for generations. Proud to support the Arkansas Activities Association and Arkansas PBS Sports. More at everettbgmc.com.
This month in Passport on the PBS app.
What happened?
I'm investigating the murder.
I think I might be able to help. My name is Agatha Christie. I'm a writer. This situation is getting out of control.
You should be more careful. I want you to help me solve a murder.
I'm a writer, not a detective.
It's a mystery, like one of your books.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app.
Team sports in Arkansas really is the building of character. It's being able to get through trials and tribulations as a team. You take those lessons from team sports and use them in everyday life situations. I'm RJ Hawk. Please consider giving to Arkansas PBS Sports.
Well, 9:28 remains in the football game, and boy, take a look at this. Opposites attract. That is certainly the case. You read it on your screen. 403 total yards for Fordyce. 396 of those are by passing plays. They have 7 yards rushing. And then of the 444 for Mansfield, it's the opposite. 396 for rushing.
Yeah, these two teams are putting up yards and big plays in bunches. What we expected. And honestly, you take away the 2 plays right before this half, this game has gone exactly how I think you and I both anticipated it to.
No question. It's been a good one. I mean, though it's a 14-point contest, 32-18. The onside kick going to be recovered by Michael Carter, the sophomore for Mansfield. They'll have it at their own 47-yard line. But, yeah, I mean, this game's been honestly a treat. Defense early and then a lot of big plays.
And there's a lot of playmakers on the outside, and both these two teams trust to go one-on-one. And I think we may see some adjustments from Mansfield's secondary should the Fordyce get another possession at this. There are too many one-on-ones on the outside and allowing Fordyce to make some of these big plays. 22 of 35 passing for Cadillac Ellison, 396, but does have the 2 interceptions.
Turnovers have been big, penalties have been big, but Fordyce looking to overcome that if they can get some big stops down here, down the stretch. Jubal Parks gives it off to Andrew Burton, but you got to figure out a way to stop that guy first. 10 yards on first down, and that'll move the chains.
Now, the one thing that you don't talk about a lot with playing the flex bone is how physically demanding it is on your body. You're essentially running into a brick wall every down. And Fordyce's defense is going to have to make a business decision. Do you go ahead and meet the football in the hole, or do you let them get 5, 6, in that case, 10 yards a carry?
Yeah, and Burton's not a light body to hit either. I mean, that wears on. It stings, right, every time. He's a hard-nosed runner.
Yeah, it also tells you the kind of offensive line that Mansfield has to be able to do that on every play all season long, knowing that they're putting their body on the line.
No kidding. Beef up front. They certainly are putting it out there. That old line has done a great job. Give it to Burton. Slips 1 tackle. Give him 10 more yards, maybe 11. First and 10 again.
They're starting to recognize a weakness there in the Fordyce defense. They're just running behind left guard. They're running the wing back in motion away from that, running back right back where it was. You see the slant by the nose tackle for Fordyce creates a big, big hole. And that's why it's another first down for Mansfield.
Clock rolling. Mansfield loves it. They're getting 10 yards a carry. They'll take that all day on this drive.
Yep, going to slow it down a little bit too, maybe bleed a little more play clock.
You know, that would probably be the only knock for Mansfield. Their last 2 touchdowns came so quick, it didn't milk a lot of clock, right?
That's right.
I don't think they care, and why would you?
Yeah.
So far, Fordyce has had some stops, but here in the bigger moments, Mansfield's had the big chunk plays. And a toss play to Silas Burton again, following his blocks inside the 25, wrapped up down to the 15, red zone for Silas Burton, and that's, 17 yards?
That's what makes this offense so tough to defend. You go fullback dive left, and all of a sudden you fake it and toss it the other way. Defense can't find the football, big play after big play, and they're now over 415 yards on the ground.
And you move that wing back over, right? And that time you toss it to him, you think it's going fullback dive again to that left side.
Well, and that's what's great about the flexible offense. There's essentially 4 players on every snap that can handle the football. You got 2 wing backs, your fullback, quarterback can always keep it. And it's just pick your poison, but if you guess, we're going to make you pay.
Yep. You've got to stay with your assignment. If anybody gets beat, it's game over. This time Burton up the middle. Not much there. Undercut at the 15, maybe a yard. And then whistle blows a little bit late. No flags come in.
TJ Harris blew that up from the start. We've called his name a bunch in the offensive backfield for Fordyce, but that time he makes a play in the Mansfield backfield. They're going to say he got a yard, but Harris was right in the hole.
And Mansfield content to milk that clock. 7:07 to go, 20 on the play clock. They can get this one all the way down to around 6 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yep. That's their friend, no question about it. And it's going to be obvious 4-down territory if it gets to that point as well.
If you're Fordyce, you got to get stops. You got to get them now. Hand off Burton, slips one man to beat again, throws him off and walks into the end zone. Andrew Burton, have a game, young fella.
It's just so hard to bring down one-on-one. Doesn't matter if he's playing at 3A or at 7A. That guy would find his way onto the field. If you're a college coach watching this kid play, go out and get him. He is a dude.
I mean, you said it. Bobby, I mean, I am just shocked that he does not have any college offers.
278 yards in his 3rd trip to the end zone.
And that right there, and I would say on almost every touchdown he's had, he's broken 1 or 2 tackles to do it at least.
Yeah, I don't know he's doing only a 15-yard touchdown around. We don't do that around here. It's got to be 40-plus.
Another 2-point try, 38-18. Boy, that's a backbreaker, too, against Fordyce. They'll toss it right side, trying to go 5 for 5 on 2-point conversions. Isaac Carson's in, and the 2-point try is good.
It's been really impressive to see what they do. A lot of the two-point conversions have been to the outside. Again, we mentioned in the open, I thought that's where they may have some success based on what you saw on film a week ago, and Mansfield has certainly taken advantage of, especially in the red zone on two-point tries.
They have 5 touchdowns and 5 two-point conversion. Gives you 40 points, and there's Burton's touchdown run. Just threw his man off. That was Jamartez Stroud. And that's the thing about Burton. He's doing this against D1 talent, right? It's a good Fordyce team.
Yeah, he is. And he's also doing it against a defense that knows it's coming. Again, that's a lot of credit to the offensive line up front for Mansfield. But he's running through tackles, and he's big time.
Well, here, the offensive line's giving you 4 or 5, right, yards, but he's doing the rest. And how about the Mansfield faithful looking for their first ever state championship in school history?
Morgan Freeman played God in Bruce Almighty. We saw him here last week. And Jesus is here.
Oh, man. That was funny. We did. That was the highlight of my week last week. Just kind of kick.
Why do they let me do this?
Oh, goodness. Well, Mansfield's had a lot to cheer about in there. Darn near 6 minutes and 43 seconds away from their first ever state title in school history. And it's a long time coming for them, right? They made it to the semis 2 years in a row. They finally made it.
Mansfield has 449 yards rushing today. If you're wondering at home, what's the record for most rushing yards in a state championship game? They're a possession away from it, 485.
Wow.
Barton in 1987.
That is a record that's been held for a while. So quick math, how far away then is that?
Make me do some math. They're 36 yards.
Okay. Ellison throws it into the flat. He's going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they spot him. 2 yards back maybe, second down and long. Fordyce running out of time, Bobby. They're going to have big plays and have them in a hurry. 6-16 and counting. Kind of like Ellison in the offense, they've got to get something going quick.
Also the second most rushing yards ever by an individual in a state championship game Burton has with his 278.
Wow. Pocket collapse. Ellison off balance throw, trying to find Gamble in and out of his hands, and he's hit after the play. Incomplete, good coverage.
Football fans are going to recognize this name, Kenneth Dixon.
Oh, yeah.
348 yards in 2011 state championship game. Played a couple seasons with the Baltimore Ravens after a great career at Louisiana Tech.
That's right, he was strong, wasn't he?
Strong, indeed. Helped them win a state championship. So there's your trip down the record book.
Well done, Bobby. You did a great job keeping up with all that.
Can't take all the credit, I promise you. A lot of really smart people before me.
Gonna go deep left sideline to Jamartez Stroud. Nice catch, keeps his balance, head in the air. It's going to be close to a first down. I think he's going to be just shy 3rd and 1.
Another really strong throw to the outside. But again, no yards after catch. Great job by Mansfield secondary to rally up around the football.
Excuse me, it's 4th down and 1, so now it's a must-have for Fordyce. You got to think if they don't get it here, that's ball game.
Yep, yeah, no question about it. 2 rushing attempts in this half for Fordyce, and one of those was a quarterback sack.
Timeout. Mansfield.
So Fordyce has completely just sold out, so we're going to throw the football if we're going to have success.
You've got the playmakers for it. The problem has been you haven't been able to get the plays to them as much. Give Mansfield credit, though.
Yeah, the Mansfield's front. Their front four is one of the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football, and that's why they've got 449 yards rushing. They're winning at the point of attack.
You know, I think in any contest, you can point to a lot of different things, right? Turnovers, penalties, this and that. But at the end of the day, I think it's the team that wins the line of scrimmage 9 times out of 10. They're the team that wins it.
Absolutely. We called the 7A championship game, and a lot of people thought, hey, Bentonville's going to have a chance to win this game because of the skill players. Bryant won the game because they won at the line of scrimmage. They dominated up front. They could run the football. And big 99 for Bryant, the name escapes me. I've watched too many football games the last week. But he took the center and essentially put him 2 yards in the backfield every play, and you're going to be really successful when you do that. Mansfield's having a lot of success up front, big push, and they're winning at the point of attack.
And if you don't give Ellison time to throw it, that's where it's at. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a record number of points, teams giving up 70 and 80 points all season. But guess what? It still matters in the trenches. You still got to play big boy football. You can play all the 7-on-7 you want. Got to have dudes up front.
Going to go under center this time. Ellison going to give it off Gamble. Got the first down. Still rumbling to the 46-yard line, but clock with 5:18 to go. Still got to get things rolling for Fordyce.
Yeah, and that's a soapbox deal. Of course, I played line. You know, obviously a former high school and college offensive lineman. Those guys up front will win or lose you football games. You can go play 7-on-7 all summer long. You can go and say, hey, we're going to score 50 points. But if you're getting up 65 or 80 on a Friday night, you got no chance of being successful. Doesn't matter who your coach is. Doesn't matter who your players are. If your defense can't win up front, you're not going to be successful.
Ellison off balance, couldn't get the throw over. And that's the deal, right? Because if you've got a team that likes to throw the ball and is good at it, if they don't have time to throw it, it doesn't matter. You take that away from them. If you've got a team that likes to run the ball, but you shut it down because your defensive line, you're taking away what they want to do.
Yeah, I mean, you can talk X's and O's, and we certainly could do that all afternoon long, but if you don't win at the point of attack, you're not going to be successful.
And today, Mansfield's front line has won the battle, really on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. People are always looking for analogies. Line play is a lot like layups and free throws in basketball. If you don't make them, you're going to lose. If you don't have good line play, you're not going to win.
They add up. Ellison trying to go deep. Got a man at the 30. Was the ball uncatchable? And there comes the flag.
Yep.
Pass interference.
Yeah, that was just a tough break for Mansfield defense. The pass is underthrown, so the receiver stops and comes back through the football, but also goes through the defender.
Defense, 15 yards. Results of it will be a first down.
It was a delayed call, but you're right. He didn't have a chance to come back to it, right? You got to give the receiver a chance to come back and make that play.
Yep. Again, but though as a defender, it's a penalty that you can live with. Yes, it's 15 yards and a first down, but you're not giving up 50 and a touchdown.
Something that has been the theme of this game has been the big plays, the big touchdowns. You take that away. Fordyce did that earlier on a pass play that Mansfield had a guy wide open. First down and 10, Fordyce at the Mansfield 39 with 4:54 to go. Redbugs need touchdowns and they need them quick. Ellison going to throw into the pocket. Almost intercepted, tipped, and then nearly caught, and a flag comes in late. Ellison on the turf. He might have got hit late.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, 15 yards, automatic first down.
Mansfield faithful don't like the call. Ellison steps into it. I think they got him with a low hit. You know, I don't know if it looked really late, but it was low around the quarterback's knee, and we've seen that at all levels, high school, college, and the pros. They're going to protect the quarterback, and that's another first down via the penalty.
That's right. And I like that. You know, quarterbacks, you want to protect them. I think sometimes at the NFL level, maybe they protect them a little too much, but that's a different topic.
Yep. Don't disagree with you, but you know, obviously, if you got a chance to be able to hit them in the midsection, you want to go for that.
Sure.
Don't want to go for too high or too low. I don't mind the penalty so much.
Empty set. Ellison going to tuck it this time. Dumps it. The flat got a man. It's TJ Harris at the 20, trying to escape the tackles. 4 defenders in the area, and Harris goes down.
Yeah, Ellison just creates a little extra time, dumps it off to his running back in the flat, but Mansfield does a great job of, again, rallying to the football, keeping everything in front and watching that clock turn. Fordyce going a little bit no huddle, but it's not really showing a lot of urgency right now.
Well, you know, on the sideline, coach was telling him he wants them to go, 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 but they're not in any sense of urgency at all. You feel like the wind's been knocked out of their sails. Ellison going to go on the out route, complete to Jamartez Stroud. Makes the man miss. 10, 5, touchdown Fordyce. Jamartez Stroud with a touchdown again.
It's unguardable. Averaging 40 yards a catch. That time, a much shorter variety, but makes a man miss in space. And you get the ball to him one-on-one. Not many times is the defense going to win that battle.
Makes it a 40-24 ball game. Very impressive receptions today for Jamartez Stroud, but if you're Fordyce, you really need this 2-point conversion.
16-point game right now, so it's still back to 2 possession, but you're exactly right. I mean, you look at the big difference in this contest has been Mansfield's success with the 2-point try and Fordyce, their inability to finish off.
Yeah, they're 0 for. If they don't get it, they're still down 18, but you're going to have to get a 2-point conversion at some point. They're trying to get one here to the pylon. It's close. It's all going to depend on the spot. Will they roll him in or out? And they didn't get it. 0 for again for Fordyce, unable to connect.
Still a two-possession game, though, JB, but you're exactly right. Just the difference in that. I mean, your two-point try, that 2 yards doesn't seem like a whole lot, 3 yards, excuse me. They're just not able to get it done. 40-24.
You know, if you make all your two-point tries at this point, if you're Fordyce, it's 40-32, right?
Yeah, completely different contest. You're exactly right. You know the onside's coming.
So if it's 40-32, it's a one-possession game. You feel a lot better about it. Now you're down still 2 scores, and you got to convert both two-point conversions if you're Fordyce. With 4:10 to go, and you're also giving Mansfield the football back. You got to go onside kick.
Yeah. Talking about all the love for Burton in the record book in the state finals. You also got to put Jamartez Stroud in that conversation, receiving yards as well. He's knocking on the door, top 5. 229 yards receiving. 234 will get him in the top 5 all-time in championship games. I don't think we're going to get to the record, though, with 406.
If we do, then Fordyce has got a good chance to win this game.
Yeah, no doubt. But a couple 90-yarders may put us in that conversation. 7 catches, though, 229, 3 touchdowns. He is making plays on the outside.
He's been impressive. And yeah, you're right. He's going to get a lot of more college offers. Here's a kick from Daniel Warner. Going to be recovered just inside the 50. Didn't quite go 10 yards. It was so close.
You're talking half of a foot, JB. It's so hard as a gunner right there. You want the football to hop up in your lap, but he just made contact with it right before the 50-yard line where it has to travel to. Here's going to be a good look at it. Got to get to the 50, just shy of it. Great work by the camera crew. And that's going to be Mansfield football.
Kick didn't go 10 yards. 10.
So it will be Mansfield football. They will have it in good field position, and Fordyce naturally, you know, with time winding down, 4:10, you got to have stops now.
Have to. Yeah, you've got to get a 3 and out. They do have a couple timeouts remaining, but if they can, of course, Mansfield's thinking we got a 4-minute drive that can churn up 49 yards and we can take a knee. They'll certainly take that. You see the numbers there. They don't care about it right now, but they need 37 yards to break the state championship game record for most rushing yards in a title game.
Wow.
That's just a carry, though.
For Andrew Burton, it sure is. Here he goes, trying to get to the outside edge, and he's not going to be able to. Micah Gamble cuts him off and trips him up.
That's big for Fordyce. They get a stop on first down. It looks like they're going to take a timeout as well.
And I think they are calling that timeout, so clock will stop with 4:01 to go.
Timeout. Fordyce. Please put 4:03 on the clock. 4:03.
So it's an interesting take here, and everybody has a different look on that, right? Calling the timeouts this early, you're rolling the dice a little bit because if Mansfield gets the first downs, then you wasted that timeout.
Yeah, I mean,
but
yeah, you're going all in. You're exactly right. Sorry to cut you off there, JB, but that's exactly the point. It's like because the next possession doesn't matter if you don't get a stop now. Let's go ahead and burn the timeouts early. If they churn up 2 or 3 first downs, the game's going to be over either way. So let's go ahead and sell out. You win first down. You win at the point of attack. You shut that down for a no gain, and now you've got a chance to be successful on the defensive side.
You know, part of it too is you're riding that momentum. You just got to stop. 2nd and 10. Right. You also just got a touchdown. You need everything to go your way. Take that timeout. You feel like if you get a couple more stops here and you get the football back with 3.5 minutes left, you feel like you got a really good chance to try to make something happen. I'll tell you what. Let's head down to Tyler on the sidelines.
Yeah, guys, the city of Mansfield showing out for their first trip to War Memorial. Check out these sweatshirts in the stands they've printed up with the Grinch as they try and take state. The population of Mansfield, just over 1,000. They told me they had to print 1,500 of these sweatshirts. So the buy-in is real, and they're excited to hopefully cheer on their first state title here.
Thank you, Tyler. Well, they're about 4 minutes and 3 seconds of doing that unless disaster strikes. They're in control of this football game, up 2 scores. Gonna hand it off to Burton. He's got room. First down inside the 35. Still on his feet. The football's loose. Fordyce forces a turnover. Oh, my.
It's the one thing you couldn't afford happen if you're Mansfield is turn the football over, and the Redbugs were jabbing at it, pulling at it, and they finally get it out of the grasp of Burton. So wipe out the 20-yard pickup.
The fumble.
Fordyce has got the football.
Wow.
First down.
That is a huge turnover.
Ball definitely comes out before he's down. Yeah, no question. Great job by Fordyce and number 10, Miguel Aragon. Gets his hands in there and is ripping at the football. Sometimes as a running back, you want to break every play. You got to go down there if you're Burton. Instead, it's a turnover, and Fordyce with 4 minutes left. They still got life.
They still got a chance. Ellison gonna give it off to Gamble up the middle, got room, breaks, that's Harris, excuse me. First down, rumbles to the 40. Fordyce, a big run by TJ Harris.
I love the play call there, JB. You've been going pass, pass, pass all half long. That time you go with the delayed handoff, 12 yards up the middle. Chains are moving, the clock stops momentarily.
Well, you gotta know, TJ Harris is gassed. I mean, he's playing both sides of the ball. He's laying it all out there. But you gotta go quick for Fordyce. 3:37 and counting. Low snap, give it off Harris. Cuts it inside to the 45, 46. Clock's gonna continue to roll. Second down and 6.
Yeah, that one not quite as successful there for Fordyce, and the clock's gonna run though. That's gonna be the important thing here. They're gonna lose about 15 or 20 seconds on their running play.
Trying to lull it asleep a little bit right now.
Yep.
You expect a pass play right here.
Yeah, have to. Got to look for a big play. They can hit a big one over the top. They're right back in it.
3-man front for Mansfield. All kinds of time for Ellison. Hit as he throws. Got a man. It's complete at the 25-yard line. What a play. Tremaine Turner hauls it in.
It's a great throw. Had plenty of time. Did Cadillac and just scanning across. Then it finally goes all the way back to the right in his progression and able to hit his target. And a huge, huge play in the passing game.
How about Tremaine Turner to make sure he caught that football? A lot of guys might try to stay in bounds, but you risk not making the catch. He hauls it in, steps out of bounds. Clock stops, 3:03 to go. Fordyce marching down the field. They'll hand it off. Up the middle, hard run to the 20-yard line, 5 yards. You know, with that 3-man front for Mansfield, I think Fordyce taking advantage of what the defense is giving
my
them.
IFB battery is about
2:47 to go, clock rolling. Fordyce still taking some time here. Kind of surprised by that.
The handoff, you get 5 yards, but it is taking way too much time to get the second down snap off.
They're going to hand it off again. Cuts it up. He's tripped up shy of the line to gain. It's third down and short, but clock continuing to tick, and Mansfield loves that.
Yeah, those two handoffs, you're going to lose 30 to 45 seconds of game time, churning off the clock as they try to get a new play in, get set offensively, and snap the football. Sure, they have a couple timeouts remaining according to the in-stadium scoreboard, but still taking too much time between plays.
Shotgun Ellison, gonna throw. Got time, all kinds of time. Still waiting. Lobs it into the flat. It's gonna be complete. Harris, spin move. Another spin move. Touchdown, Redbugs. You gotta be kidding me.
There was just a lot of people standing around on that play, JB. The pass rush was non-existent for Mansfield, and including the secondary. It might have been Andrew Burton kind of ranging over, thought he was going to be able to make the play, but goes after the football instead, misses the tackle, and what have we just seen? We're a 2-point conversion away from being a one-possession game.
Wow. TJ Harris, a big touchdown, but this right here is what it comes down to. If Fordyce is going to have a chance, they've got to convert this 2-point conversion.
Have not been able to convert a 2-point try yet.
They are 0 for 4. Mansfield's bowed up big here in short yardage.
Gamble's in the backfield.
They got Gamble. They're going to pass it. Ellison going to lob in the middle, in and out of the hands, incomplete. Wow. They had the man, but he couldn't bring it in.
Had the exact call that you want. Wide open in the middle of the field was Tremaine Turner, and just a little too much oomph on that pass from Cadillac and right through the hands of his receiver.
Well, if you're Fordyce, naturally you can't point to one play. They've had a lot of chances for 2 points. They just need one of them to give themselves a chance to a one-possession game. That one just in and out of the hands of Tremaine Turner. But now if you're Fordyce, you're going to have an onside kick recovery or a quick stop.
The onside likely coming because you're down 2 possessions, and then you're going to burn timeouts defensively.
Well, how big are those 5 2-point conversions for Mansfield now? Man.
It's massive. I mean, I can add. Guess what 5.2-point conversions is, JB? It's 10 points, right?
10 points, yeah.
Yeah, it's a tie game if you don't get those.
No kidding.
Or if Fordyce gets theirs, we're tied at 40.
Yeah. Well, we talked to Coach Overton before the game, and I talked to him on the field right before. I said, last kind of thoughts, he said, 2-point conversions. He said, I feel like it might come down to that, and I think he's right.
No, you're exactly right. I mean, it almost seems like a foregone conclusion. Hey, we just scored. Go add the PAT. You're up 7-0. But this is the difference. And also the momentum that a 2-point conversion can give or take away is massive. Yes, hey, we gave up an 80-yard touchdown, but we get a 2-point stop. You don't feel quite as bad about yourself.
Sure. And the fact that they are 5 for 5, if they didn't convert on any of them, or on one of them, just one, it's still a one-possession game.
Yeah.
Onside kick. It's not going to go far enough. They're going to wait on it. It's not going to go far enough. 43-yard line, it's down. Flag's going to come in. That's where Mansfield's going to have it.
Yep. It's another break on special teams for Mansfield.
Kick it, team.
After Tigers, you feel decent about this. Up 10 with 2:02 to go.
2 first downs. This game puts it away. Obviously, Fordyce is going to be able to use a couple timeouts, but 2 first downs for Mansfield will put this game away.
If you think about it here and you get 2 stops in your Fordyce, right? Yep. And then you get another stop, you're still going to lose about 40, 45 seconds. You'll have a minute 20 left with the football, but you got to score twice. That's going to mirror you're up against it.
I mean, they've got the offense to do it.
Sure.
I mean, 476 yards passing today for Fordyce and Cadillac in that offense. They're going to be able to move the football through the air. It's just, do they have enough time?
Mansfield, you're right. About 2 first downs away from putting this one to bed. Jubal Parks under center. We've had a dandy. They gave it off to Burton. He's got a hole. Big gainer all the way to the 35-yard line. It's 2nd down and short.
First, the timeout there for Fordyce. Their 2nd of the contest comes in now.
Timeout. Second charge timeout of the half.
Burton's over 300 yards rushing. Imagine that. Let's go out and live in your dream. You go to a state championship game. That's the dream of every high school football player. And then you run for 300 yards.
Boy.
Find yourself in the end zone 3 times. Think he's going to sleep okay tonight?
I think so. He'll sleep a lot better if they come out with that trophy.
No question.
You know, and that's something that's a good point, right? You have a lot of players that you highlight before a game, you know, and across all these state championships, knowing that the other team is going to try to stop you. Deuce Williams for Robinson, we saw he had a decent game, but Lakeside stopped him. You know it's going to Andrew Burton, right? And you still can't stop him. That's how impressive he's been.
Yeah. 2nd most rushing yards in a state championship game ever by an individual. I mean, it is really remarkable. And, of course, the entire Mansfield offense deserves a bunch of credit. I know we're only focusing on him, but the offensive line, the other guys who are the decoys essentially on every play. But, I mean, how many broken tackles? And some people are going to point to the fumble. I get it. But he also picked up 25 yards on the fumble as well. I mean, this is a really impressive performance. And that's what this offense is built on. You can't run this type of offense if you don't have a guy like that to line up and say, hey, I'm going to get hit by 2 different people on every snap.
And still break the tackles. It's been impressive. But you're right. Silas Burton, Jeremiah Burton, Joe Carter, all the role players are what allows him. And that offensive line, Jubal Parks, the quarterback. It's a team effort to allow Burton to do what he does. 2nd down and 2, a 1st down away from really putting this thing in control. 1st down for Burton. He's got 5, maybe 6 yards. Is that enough to break the record? That's going to be awful close, Bobby.
Get your abacus out. Is it a 5-yard gain? Is it a 6-yard gain? That's what the difference is going to be.
It's 1st and 10, and clock's rolling, and for all intents and purposes, Mansfield may have just won the state title. I think they'd love to break that record, too.
No question about it. So they haven't posted the last official rush.
If you get 2 or 3 yards here, that will for sure do it. They're going to load the box. Going to give it to Burton outside. He's got yardage. That should do it. 23-yard line. You break the record, and Mansfield's a minute and 11 seconds away from a state title.
It's a record that stood for 38 seasons, but Barton's mark of 485 yards rushing goes down. Mansfield over 490 yards after that last carry.
Wow. That's a record that's going to take a while to be broken. You got to imagine. And Coach Overton, he is moments away from his 1st ever state title, the 1st ever in Mansfield history. And they're lining it up. Looking for the QB kneel. There it is, victory formation. The snap from Parks, he knees it. And with 28 seconds to go, Mansfield is going to take home their first ever state title in school history.
What a performance from the Mansfield Tigers. They're going to be able to run this one out, JB. We saw history on the team side, and what a team effort for Mansfield, taking home a title for the first time ever.
They came up short 2 years in a row. There's the Gatorade bath. It's cold out there. And Coach Overton, I guarantee he didn't mind one bit. Back-to-back years of being eliminated in the semis, their first ever trip to War Memorial, and they come out a big winner.
What an effort. What a second half from Fordyce, though. They found something to finally get going with their offense. They're going to be back. They've got a ton of youngsters on this team that can come back in 2026, but tip of the cap to Mansfield. It's been a long time coming for that town to see some success on the football field, and they deserve it.
There's a lot of success in that area, right, with Greenwood, close to Fort Smith, but Mansfield, the powerhouse in the 3A, they take down a very good Fordyce Red Book team, 40-30. The state champs for the Tigers, their first ever in school history. And we'll step aside. Trophy presentation and our interviews coming up.
This broadcast is underwritten in part by...
Since 1937, the electric cooperatives of Arkansas have been providing power to homes, farms, and businesses across our state. The cooperatives are member-owned and work together to serve Arkansans. The electric cooperatives of Arkansas proudly support high school students and athletics in Arkansas and hope you enjoy watching the state championship games on Arkansas PBS Sports. Better connected together. The electric cooperatives of Arkansas.
UAMS is a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports. UAMS Health provides orthopedic and sports medicine care across Arkansas, supporting athletes and teams throughout the state. Find out more at UAMShealth.com. Winrock Automotive supports Arkansas athletes as a sponsor of the Arkansas PBS Sports broadcast of the high school state championship games, with 7 dealerships across the state serving Little Rock, Conway, and Jonesboro. Winrock Automotive is community-focused and provides vehicle sales and service across Arkansas. We're honored to be a part of these unforgettable moments, celebrating Arkansas student-athletes. Winrock Automotive, connecting communities through service and support.
Happy holidays from the Arkansas PBS studios. I'm Audrey Rogers.
And I'm Jennifer Hillman. We're here to let you know what's happening this December.
We're kicking off December with the Arkansas High School Football State Finals. Watch live with us starting December 4th as Arkansas's most talented high school athletes compete for their state titles. Watch all the action on Arkansas PBS or watch later on the Arkansas PBS YouTube channel.
Nothing gets me in the holiday spirit like festive programs. From the heartwarming Call the Midwife Christmas special to joyful concerts. We've got some great choices in December. We've compiled them all at myarpbs.org/holidays. Grab your favorite warm beverage and watch with us all month long.
Arkansas educators, winter break is the perfect time to catch up on your professional development training. The Arkansas Ideas team is offering a challenge to help you connect to the people, places, and ideas that shape our state and its role in America's story. Learn more at arkansasideas.org/250PD.
Arkansas Live brings the best of arts and entertainment to the comfort of your home. Don't miss our festive live streams this month, including coverage of the Arkansas State Capitol lighting ceremony. Catch up on even more live streamed events at myarpbs.org/Arkansas Live.
Thanks for joining us this month, and be sure to connect with us on social media. You'll find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and X.
We're sending you festive greetings this holiday season. We'll see you again next year.
This month in Passport on the PBS app.
Where better to have a family Christmas than the Highlands of Scotland?
Mary!
Cheers. Christmas is my favourite time of year, and the real highlight is the food.
It's kind of like a food variety show.
You want to be on it? You are right now.
Oh.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app.
And there it is, the first ever state title in Mansfield history. And Coach Overton hoists the trophy. The Tigers living the dream.
What a cool story. Plays there, able to come back and turn Mansfield, which is always thought of after the Mitch schools you mentioned in the Fort Smith River Valley and Fort Smith Southside and all the success, and Northside, Greenwood, Charleston, Boonville. But finally, Mansfield can say, hey, we're king of the mountain this year.
Put us in that category as well. Take a look at these stats. I mean, ginormous numbers for both teams. 500-plus yards of total offense for both offenses, but a little bit reversed, right? It was Fordyce 475 yards through the air. For Mansfield, 489 yards on the ground. A really different mix of offenses, but we saw a little bit of everything.
Yeah, this is what you get when you see small school football. Just find a way that your kids can be successful. Fordyce had a ton of success through the air. Mansfield, a state record 489 on the ground in the finals. Find a way to get it done. Fordyce just turned the offense a little bit too late, and they couldn't catch up.
You know something we mentioned, both teams scored 5 touchdowns. The difference in the game, all 5 two-point conversions converted by Mansfield.
Right.
That was the difference.
5 trips to the end zone for each side. I don't think we have to tell you who the MVP is going to be. Andrew Burton, 30 carries, 321 yards, 3 touchdowns, second most ever in a title game. Have yourself a day.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that guy now. And I think everyone else in the state should be on notice. I'm not so sure he doesn't have a college offer. You got to think one's coming after this.
I mean, he shouldn't leave the stadium without one, to be quite honest with you. I don't know if you're allowed to offer him today, but do it.
Whoever you are. I mean, my goodness, he will make your program better. And Andrew Burton awarded most valuable player, and so fitting the performance that he had in his offense. I mean, my goodness, 30 attempts, 321 yards, 3 touchdowns, a 90-yard house call. Somebody go get this man.
Yeah, the 90-yard touchdown run opened the floodgates, didn't it? I mean, that really started the scoring. Really impressive performance from Burton, the offensive line for Mansfield. And again, you can't say enough about that football town. They finally got themselves on top.
And they head to the sidelines to cheer with their faithful fans that made the trip from West Arkansas all the way down to War Memorial Stadium. Tyler's down there with Coach Overton. Tyler, take it away.
Coach, obviously, I don't know, how do you even describe this feeling?
Well, very stressful. You know, you're up 40-18, and give those dudes credit, man. They never gave up. We hung on. It's just a loss for words. I mean, I'm so proud of our guys. They fought so hard. So proud of this town and this community. They've had to do this for so long, and to bring them a championship, it's beyond my wildest imaginations and dreams.
And not just a championship, the championship, getting to come back here in front of the whole town. Just what does this mean to Mansfield?
Oh, I couldn't even explain it, man. It's something that a long time ago, I wanted unloading trailers at Walmart. I said, I want to be the coach at Mansfield. I want to win a state championship. And people thought I was crazy for coming back here. But these kids bought into what I was preaching, and I just love all those guys so much because they believed in what I was saying, and we came out here and we did it. It's incredible.
Congrats, Coach. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much.
Thanks so much, Tyler. What a story for Coach Overton. We mentioned in the broadcast, working at Walmart Distribution Center in Fort Smith, that was his dream, to take home the hardware in Mansfield, and he's done that first time ever in school history. What a story, what a game this has been. 40-30, Mansfield the winner, and Tyler's down there with our player.
Yeah, Andrew, I mean, you just start trying to put this into words, bringing home the first state title to Mansfield.
Yeah, it means a lot for this town and this team. I feel like the whole town's here watching, and this team, it means a lot to us. And we've been, ever since last year we lost in the semis, we've been working really hard to get here, and we finally did it. And it feels good.
For you and the rest of the senior class, you get to finish your high school careers like this. Just what does it mean?
It means a lot, because
Interview. Look what we did.
Yeah, these seniors, most of us will never play football again, and this is a good way to go out, and we're just gonna celebrate, and most of us are gonna have to go to basketball one day, but we're going to celebrate now.
All right, I'll let you go celebrate with the team. Congrats to you and the Tigers.
Thanks, Tyler. Lots of celebration going on. Even during that interview, Andrew Burton deserves all kinds of praise for his performance today.
You can celebrate with the Mansfield Tigers by getting your official championship gear now. Just visit ArkansasHighSchoolSports.com to find apparel and memorabilia commemorating a perfect season. That's ArkansasHighSchoolSports.com.
Hey, you're going to want to be certain to do that. Get the memorabilia. Probably one of the best state championships we've seen in a long time. Your final thoughts?
Yeah, really good. Just explosive plays on both sides of the football. It's just Fordyce didn't wake up in that first half soon enough. And the difference? Hey, that 2-point try, Mansfield, the first football championship in school history.
That will do it for us today. A 40-30 winner. Mansfield over Fordyce, but stick around tonight. It's the 4A state championship. Dardanelle and Elkins for the second time this year. This time for all the marbles. Thanks for tuning in to today's coverage of the 3A football state championship by Centennial Bank. And all of us here at Arkansas PBS, we appreciate you tuning in. Should be a lot of fun tonight. Thanks so much. The 4A state championship coming up. 3A champ Mansfield, 40-30 winners over Fordyce. Have a good evening.